making her have to take a detour. I'm not going too far out of the way. Just press the gas and done. Taking this moment, I turned on the car music. A light, cheerful instrumental made the stifling atmosphere more comfortable. Green light, proceed. I gripped the wheel while chatting. What time do you usually get off work? Sophia tilted her head to look at me. Her gaze unconsciously lingered on my lips, then absently withdrew. 6:30 in the evening. She answered very honestly, pressing her lips lightly. The work isn't hard. Mainly stocking merchandise and organizing supermarket shelves. When free, cleaning up. Most importantly, don't need to interact with too many people. Her psychological issues would be less likely to flare up. Then after work, wait for me. I'll come pick you up. Sophia was surprised, feeling pampered. Don't need to. I can just bike home myself. Having someone pick her up like this, she felt unworthy. I was about to comfort her, telling her not to feel pressured. But the words reached my mouth. I suddenly thought of something. So used a commanding tone. After work, remember to message me. I'll come pick you up. Sophia's body trembled slightly. Her gaze also became strange, momentarily forgetting to answer. I continued, did you hear? My voice grew a bit stern. Sophia quickly came to her senses, hurriedly answering, yes, yes. I glanced at her, asking, will you obediently listen? Sophia sat up straight. I will. I'll obediently listen. My heart suddenly felt uneasy. Just testing a little. Didn't expect she'd actually really like this commanding style. Yesterday I'd wanted to try. Just hadn't found the opportunity. Had to admit, Sophia had changed tremendously. If it were back in school, hearing words like these, she'd definitely joke and laugh it off. But now she just wanted to obediently comply. Don't know what she went through these years. Before she was lively and outgoing, cheerful and bright. Now, insecure, afraid of strangers, severely overdependent. Psychological issues could flare up anytime. Wanted someone to control her. When making mistakes without punishment, she'd feel uneasy. She was like a glass bottle full of cracks. Don't know when it would shatter. I drove following GPS directions. When nearly there, I suddenly asked, me managing you like this, do you hate it? Sophia froze, only then realizing I was managing her. No wonder it felt so comfortable. How to say? Can't really say I hate or don't hate it. Basically, I really like it. Sophia felt a bit shy. If possible, please manage me more in the future. I laughed lightly, scolding her, you're truly hopelessly silly. Sophia didn't understand why she was scolded. Lowering her eyes, immediately apologizing, sorry. I said, stop saying sorry. Sophia looked up at me doubtfully. At that moment, the car arrived, slowly stopped. I pulled the parking brake, turning to look at her. Come here, kiss me. Sophia blinked, lips parted slightly, doubting she'd misheard. Didn't hear? I'd truly said that. She hadn't misheard. Sophia made a small sound, ears flushing red, unfastened her seatbelt, timidly leaning toward me, clumsily brushing my lips lightly. Sophia slowly sat back, shy as a little bride, not daring to look at me anymore. She asked awkwardly, like that? I'm not very good at it. Fortunately, she didn't dare look at me. I could pretend to be calm. After work, remember to message me. Don't forget, okay? Sophia placed her hand on her chest, looking up at me, lightly waving goodbye. Goodbye then. Getting out, waiting for the door to close. I leaned back in my seat. Couldn't keep up the calm expression anymore. Heart beating chaotically, still not calming down. What to do? She really was so obedient. Initially I just planned to joke a bit. Didn't expect she wouldn't resist at all. Completely obedient. Speaking of which, her lips were truly very soft, her whole being fragrant too. But after calming a bit, I restarted the car. Before leaving, glanced at Sophia's workplace. Fengyuan supermarket. The shop wasn't large, about the size of a slightly bigger convenience store. Don't know what kind of person the owner was. Should visit Fengyuan supermarket sometime. Xiao Wei arrived? Zhang Shufang smiled in welcome. Since working together, she'd grown fonder of this little girl daily. Hello, Auntie Zhang. Sophia stuttered, struggling to force out a reply. Zhang Shufang said she and her daughter were the same age. Told her to call her Auntie Zhang. No need to call her boss. Sophia obediently complied, seeing her so tense and frightened. Zhang Shufang had gradually gotten used to it. Had planned to chat a bit, but let it go, just gently telling her to get to work. Afraid speaking too loud would scare her. Sophia bowed slightly, leaving the counter toward the shelves. Probably a boyfriend or something. Zhang Shufang thought idly, tilting her head to look across the street. That white car was slowly driving away. Earlier, clearly saw Sophia stepping out from that car. Don't know what kind of person Xiao Wei's boyfriend was. Early morning driving her to work. Must be someone considerate. Actually don't need a man who's too capable. Just having a conscience is enough. Zhang Shufang, the older she got, the more she thought about such things. Automatically activated matchmaking mode in her head. Thinking, then remembered her daughter Zhang Yun. She sighed, withdrawing her gaze. Her daughter didn't want to marry. Worried she'd be lonely later. But not marrying was not marrying. As long as she was happy. Like during that previous argument when she'd said, "Not marrying won't kill me." Thinking this, Zhang Shufang smiled, putting on reading glasses, pulling out her phone to message her daughter. Remember to eat the breakfast mom brought. Don't be like last time, forgetting it in the car until getting off work. Then bringing it back. Message just sent, before long. The other side quickly replied, "Roger that." With a saluting baby emoji attached. Zhang Shufang smiled, putting away her phone. Right now, this was good too. Chapter 40. Riverside Network Technology Company. Underground parking lot. Morning, team leader. Sophie Chen greeted me enthusiastically. Her voice still same as before. Full of energy. Listening carefully. Could detect some fakeness. I smiled back, morning. Watching Sophie Chen approach lightly. Just from her eyes could guess her intentions. Sophie Chen's gaze kept glancing at the car behind me. Truly the legendary type who recognizes cars, not people. This point completely opposite from my silly girl. Two extremes. Due to being disciplined before. Recently, Sophie Chen had been quietly avoiding me. Today proactively starting conversation. Clearly had a purpose. Sophie Chen came closer, pretending to discover coincidentally. Team leader, you bought a new car? I cooperated with her act. Looking back. Oh right, an old car. Just got it yesterday. I patted the hood casually. Completely without care. Sister Qian helped find it. Price was reasonable too. From how carelessly I treated it, could tell it was cheap. Sophie Chen made a sound. Outwardly acting uninterested in the car. But actually already appraised it inside. White Nissan Sentra, classic model. Even if not used, still not expensive. She smiled outwardly. But inside started doubting me. Don't know if I was really someone headquarters. Sent for training. Calculating so precisely. Just a few tens of thousands, complaining it's expensive. If really had to invest time in me. She'd definitely hesitate considerably. Turns out the intel was wrong. Then who'll take responsibility for this wasted youth? To be safe, temporarily won't approach him anymore. Wait until this week to ask the sisters at headquarters. Find out more then decide. Don't let things get messy when trouble happens. Sophie Chen silently calculated inside. Chatting with me while entering the company. Today without Sophie Chen's clever approaching tactics. I felt a bit unaccustomed. No chance to tease. Couldn't practice work patience. Lost a bit of workplace fun. But also felt lighter. While working, I was somewhat distracted, always checking Instagram. To see if Sophia messaged me. Though I'd told her, even while working, she could message. But that silly girl feared disturbing me. So rarely sent messages during hours. Recently, my relationship with Sophia progressed quite fast. Getting a bit addicted. Today at work, kept thinking about her. Thinking back now. No dating rules in school had reasons. When immersed in romantic atmosphere. Plus being able to get intimate. Even adults easily lose control. Let alone those not mature enough. Very easy to act impulsively. And cause trouble without knowing. And once trouble happens, completely lacking ability to take responsibility. not only affects studies, but both get hurt. I wasn't the ascetic type. Just restrained myself very strictly. In middle and high school, just kids. Sophia and I were close. Saying I had no thoughts would be lying. Sophia had subtly confessed to me many times. But I always pretended not to know, avoiding it. I feared once both expressed feelings. Couldn't control it anymore. When people get overwhelmed by emotions, often misjudge their own capabilities. Then make reckless promises. Yesterday saying absolutely certain, won't touch you before graduation. Next day becomes, holding hands is fine, right? Let me feel a little. Then saying, just a light touch. Finally, I'll take responsibility. Then breaking up before graduation. Affecting studies. Hurting people too. Parents in chaos. School in uproar. Such things everywhere. I didn't blindly trust my own willpower. Didn't believe in confessing first. Then saying wait until after graduation to date. Once started, had to be mentally prepared not to stop. Like having diarrhea. Absolutely don't trust any fart. Don't think you can control it. If accidentally hurt her, this lifetime I wouldn't forgive myself. Honestly, if this life I missed Sophia, I wouldn't regret it either. Because I truly liked her. Suppressing feelings during school was how I took responsibility for her future. Love isn't just passion, also needs responsibility. If truly missed her, would feel sorry but not regretful. But fortunately, despite some twists, still didn't miss her. Still that saying, I never blindly trusted my willpower. I wouldn't easily start anything. But once started, I'd prepare to bear everything. From reuniting and confessing to her. From holding hands, kissing her cheek. From knowing she was obedient, telling her to kiss me. I was already prepared. Whatever the outcome, it's a lifetime choice. Time at the company passed neither fast nor slow. Half the time thinking about her. Half the time working. Until getting off work, I was first to leave the company. Met HR manager Zhao Qian in the lobby. Got asked a few questions about buying a car. After some pleasantries, we each went our way. Zhao Qian turned to look at me, wondering inside if I was in trouble. That hurried departure from the company. Even faster than Sophie Chen. But normally I was very calm about everything. Controlling things well, completely different from today. Something abnormal. Had to find opportunity to ask clearly. After all, I was someone headquarters designated for her to look after. If I truly faced difficulties, should help if possible. At the same time, on the other side, at Feng Yuan supermarket, Zhang Shufang sat at the checkout counter. Chin propped, looking toward the shelves. Sophia was very diligent. Around 4 or 5 p.m. She'd already neatly organized the week's stock. She told her to rest a bit. She said she wasn't tired. Then started cleaning again, just as approaching closing time. She grew more distracted, occasionally glancing at her phone. Sweeping the same spot back and forth 4 or 5 times. Probably something going on. This girl was already timid. Even with things, didn't dare speak. Kept checking the clock. Zhang Shufang thought, then called toward the shelves. Xiao Wei, come here a moment. Sophia heard the call, hurriedly set down the broom. Quickly running over. She wanted to ask what's wrong. But stuttered. Couldn't form a complete sentence. The more like this, the more tense and anxious she became. Gripping her clothes, standing with lowered head, dazed. Zhang Shufang smiled, softening her voice. It's nothing. Don't worry, don't know why. This girl could be scared to this extent. Clearly her voice wasn't harsh at all. Zhang Shufang also started losing confidence, unconsciously lowering her volume several notches. Just wanted to say the shop has nothing more today. You can leave early. The car ran smoothly. Sophia sat in the passenger seat. Just told me why she got off early. After hearing, I said, then your boss is quite nice. Sophia hummed softly. Auntie Zhang is a good person. Oh right. Today at work, I kept thinking about you. Why didn't you message me? I asked lightly as if nothing. Sophia froze. Inside her heart, like pink bubbles floating up and popping. She suddenly felt her face burning hot. Lowering her gaze, small hands twisted together. I was afraid of disturbing your work. You're truly silly. I already said it wouldn't disturb. I put it on silent. When I see messages, I'll reply immediately. Why won't you trust me? I scolded a few lines, and she didn't bother arguing back. Just waited for me to stop. Then softly said, I missed you too. Voice very, very small. But like someone pressed mute. I fell silent. The car suddenly became quiet. Silent a long while. I finally uttered one word, silly. Chapter 41. When kissing, must be careful and worried. That was Sophia's current dominant emotion. Besides the obvious shyness of someone in love, more was worry. Sitting in the passenger seat, she kept her head down. Small hands twisting together. What else was she worried about? I withdrew my thoughts. She wasn't hard to read. If leaving it like this, no need to take her to eat. I just stopped the car on the roadside near her rental area, saying after eating we'd go for a walk. Only then did she breathe a sigh of relief. Looking like she wanted to save money for me. Even her steps felt lighter. I looked at her retreating figure, reminding. Remember to heat up yesterday's goat meat before eating. Another day and it won't be good. Sophia turned from inside the car to answer. I waved, telling her to hurry eat dinner. Just treated her to a few street meals. And she already felt psychological pressure. Truly a silly girl. I watched her figure going upstairs. Then drove back to my family's old neighborhood. Just opening the door, the rich aroma of braised beef filled the air. Plus the hissing sound of the pressure cooker. Mom, I'm home. I called toward the kitchen. Entering and changing slippers. Hearing the noise. My mom holding a ladle. My dad carrying a water bottle. Both sneaking out. Eyes tense. Kept looking behind me. I also started feeling tense. I turned to look behind. Just a closing door. Nothing there. What's behind me? I turned back, somewhat doubtfully asking. Nothing. Both cleared their throats, then each went their way. One went to the kitchen, the other went elsewhere. Going to the balcony, then went to the balcony. Not going out with your girlfriend today? Mom's voice rang from the kitchen. Pretending like nothing important. Only then did I understand what the two were tense about at home. Just afraid I'd bring my girlfriend home. Without saying anything. Found it amusing. I walked into the kitchen. I said eating out is too expensive, so she won't go. My mom. What do you two eat out there? I picked up chopsticks to taste the dish. Honestly answering. Braised pork rice by the high school area. Rice plates, fast food, skewers and such. My mom smiled lightly at her silly son. Don't you hear she's mocking you? I picked up a soft potato piece. Blowing to cool it, I looked at Mom, full of confusion. Mocking what? Mom answered. Dating her but only taking her to eat those things. The girl would be strange to be happy. Right, she was a bit unhappy. I even said it was expensive. I didn't argue back, testing the cooled potato piece. Blew on it thoroughly for ages. Bit into it, still got burned. But too embarrassed to spit it out. Just used tongue to roll the potato around my mouth. Then swallowed. Couldn't even taste it. Tongue burned numb. Mom looked at my foolish appearance. Shaking her head in that disappointed mom way. She stirred the pot with the ladle. Then asked how the flavor was. I mumbled that the sauce was delicious. Mom lifted down the pot. Switching to the wok. Turning on the range hood. Adding cut vegetables to the pan. Steam meeting hot oil. Sizzling sounds of daily life. While stir-frying, she told me. Already your girlfriend. So don't use the excuse of dating to freeload meals. You should know better. When dating, can choose somewhere decent. Spending a bit won't hurt. Girls have self-respect too. When not truly understanding each other yet. Choosing a proper restaurant also shows you value her. As for roadside stalls, fast food and such, save for later. Wait until she feels comfortable, then go. I listened to Mom's teaching. Occasionally nodding in agreement. Didn't argue or object, just listened obediently. The highest leader at home couldn't be wrong. Problem was, I was willing to spend money on her. But she wouldn't let me. Really difficult. Mom taught me a few lines while cooking. Didn't say too much. She didn't want to interfere too deeply. Young people's romance matters. Feelings had to be experienced themselves. Finally just reminded. Next time if planning to bring girlfriend home, say so beforehand. Setting out bowls and chopsticks to eat. Having a son eating dinner at home. What parents wouldn't be happier? After eating. Clearing dishes. Resting a bit after the meal. Waiting for sunset. Heat gradually fading. Dad started peeling apples. As for mom, just finished a phone call with friends. I seized the chance to use the bathroom to freshen up. Then came to the living room. Mom, Dad, going out for a bit. Both looked at me and hummed. Didn't need to guess where I was going. I changed shoes and went out. Sky already darkening. Streetlights not yet on. Gentle breeze brushing my face. Mildly cool. For a walk, so I didn't take the car. Just borrowed a shared e-bike. Riding toward the rental area across from the high school. Pedaling while humming a cheerful tune. Just turning into the school area. Already saw from afar. A familiar figure standing looking around. Oh no, it's Sophia. From afar already waving, smiling brightly. Looking silly. She wore a light-colored dress. Dress was beautiful. Person even more beautiful. I locked the bike in the parking area. Sophia carefully observed surrounding traffic. Then quickly ran to me. Eyes bright and happy. Like just seeing her beloved owner. A puppy wagging its tail running over. Leading the little girl before me. I had to resist the urge to pat her head. Didn't want to mess up her hair. You look really pretty today. She said thanks. Then responded with a very soft whisper. I naturally grasped her hand. Both leisurely walking along the school wall. Did you finish the goat meat from last night? Finished it. Good, it's finished. If there's any left, shouldn't eat it anymore. Right. How does your supermarket arrange time off? 4 days off per month. Can arrange days off flexibly. Thinking what? Saying what? Even not saying anything, the atmosphere wasn't awkward. Street lights on both sides lit up one by one. Around this time, school probably had evening self-study. Outside the gate, no students visible. Through the wall. Couldn't hear sounds of playing ball on the field either. Areas near schools are like that. Bustling when students are there. But when in class or on holiday, completely empty. Evergreen magnolias year-round. Though autumn arrived, still lush and flourishing. Gentle breeze passing. Rustling sounds. Could feel the chill. We both said nothing more, just walking slowly. 10 fingers interlaced, gently swinging back and forth. Steps also very slow. Slow as if time were stopping. But every road has an endpoint. Could only blame time passing too fast. The distance was close indeed. So close like years side by side. But heartbeat wouldn't stop. Had to blame the months and years still too long. Without noticing. We'd circled the school once, almost back now. Though both silently slowed down. Still couldn't avoid parting time. Tomorrow I'll call you, then come down. Don't need to wake up early. Really troubling you. I said those words again. Hearing my voice seemed unhappy. Sophia hurriedly apologized, sorry. I helplessly shook my head. Today why didn't you ask if I still love you? I'm afraid asking too much, you'll get tired of me. But if you don't ask, how do I know what excuse to use to kiss you? Huh? Sophia thought she misheard. She stopped walking, tilting her head to look at me. Pretty face flushing red. I also stopped, turning to look at her. 4 eyes meeting. Street light shining on Sophia's face. Light filtering through her flowing hair. Creating a beautiful gentle amber layer. That glow made her lips and eyes also sparkle brilliantly. Like hazy dream scenery, full of enchantment. I stared, mesmerized. When coming to my senses, I swallowed, then asked, okay? Inside Sophia's head was tangled like cotton. She said nothing. But her body was already honest. Reacting first, she tilted her head up slightly. Pressing her lips lightly. This was the first time we kissed seriously. The light touch between lips. Like a snail gently extending soft tentacles. Exploring the world. Both looking at each other. Lightly touching lips. Then separating, shallow but long. Really too difficult. Holding breath. Touching again, closer together. While moving lips and tongue. Sophia shyly made a sound. We hurriedly separated. Her small face flushed, gaze avoiding. Looking down at chest, I awkwardly withdrew my hand. That, when kissing, Hands and brain truly are two independent entities. I didn't mean to. A short passage but considered finished. I walked her the final stretch. She kept her head down, not speaking, face unseen. I also didn't know if my action just now made her unhappy. I didn't dare hold her hand anymore. Arriving below the rental building, I said goodbye. See you tomorrow. Only then did she look up at me, face red, softly saying, touching a little is okay too. I froze in place. After saying that, Sophia, seeming embarrassed beyond endurance, stuttered, see you tomorrow, and ran off. A moment later I came to my senses. So earlier she was head down thinking about that. Found her both funny and adorable. On the way riding the e-bike home, I kept smiling the whole time. Head full of Sophia's image. This silly girl truly couldn't predict her thoughts. Speaking of touching, I unconsciously squeezed my palm lightly. Autumn night breeze was cold indeed, but couldn't blow away the fire in my heart. Chapter 42. Children who are cared for are truly happy. 2 a.m. I turned off my phone. The buzzing in my head like electric currents running wild in my skull. I closed my eyes. I tried searching for a bit of weak sleepiness in the darkness. When eyelids started aching, dawn had broken. Still couldn't nap at all. Beep 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 beep. The alarm rang. Insomnia again. I smiled wryly. No energy left to be angry. I reached to turn off that shrieking alarm, dragging my tired body out of bed. For someone with severe insomnia, whether emotions are positive or negative, excessive amounts easily worsen the condition. Like last night, kissing Sophia deeply under the street light. Happy. Yes, happy. But ended up with insomnia. I left my room. Up so early today? Seeing me come out, Mom drinking soy milk was a bit surprised. She glanced at the clock. Normally I only left my room right when about to leave for work. Today up nearly 10 minutes earlier. I had no energy. Just casually greeted my parents. Then went to the bathroom to wash my face. Had to say, home truly was the best place. Even toothpaste already squeezed out. While brushing teeth, my foggy mind gradually cleared. I'd actually always been curious. Since childhood, occasionally Mom would squeeze toothpaste for me. But no clear pattern at all. I'd once tried recording days when toothpaste was squeezed, wanting to see if there was a pattern. Result: no pattern whatsoever. Years of curiosity, probably time to clarify. I finished washing and came to the living room. Dad had already gone out. Mom was still changing shoes at the door. Mrs. Huilan reminded as usual. Breakfast is in the steamer. Your girlfriend's too. Remember to bring it. I looked at my mom a moment. Then without beating around the bush, asked directly, Mom, what do you base on to decide which days to squeeze toothpaste for me? Mom said, sometimes squeeze too much, falls in the sink. Seems wasteful, so conveniently use your toothbrush to scoop it back up. After hearing, I just quietly left. Mom truly had maternal love, but not excessively. I finished breakfast, then left home to pick up Sophia. In the car, a cheerful melody played. On the road, I suddenly thought of a question. Driving all night without sleep. Could that be considered fatigued driving? I was that type of person. When mind not clear, would think of strange questions. I turned into the school area. From afar saw Sophia waiting by the road. I'd told her to just wait inside. Don't know how long this silly girl had been standing there. I drove while thinking, suddenly remembering something. Didn't she once say she wanted me to manage her more strictly? Since learning she easily accepted verbal commands, I'd had a different view of that statement. She wasn't joking. Truly hoped to be controlled. Like desperately wanting someone to supervise her. Not entirely sure. Let's see. I stopped the car before her. Sophia smiled at me, then opened the door to get in. After she sat steady, she thanked me for breakfast. Everything as usual. I drove. She ate breakfast. At an intersection, caught by a red light. Waited for her to finish the last bite. I asked gently, yesterday didn't I tell you to wait at home? Sophia turned to look at me. She thought a bit. Did you say that? She tried recalling last night. But her head was full of kissing images. Sorry, I forgot. She lowered her head, face slightly warm. I thought, oh no. She's too obedient, giving me no chance to test anything. I cleared my throat. Next time just wait inside. I'll call you, then come down. Don't stand by the road early like that. Sophia mumbled. Wasn't that early? But actually she'd been waiting nearly 20 minutes. And every time, I had to ask, did you hear me? Sophia nodded, saying she heard. Green light, car continued rolling. Actually, testing wasn't my style. Both adults now. Just say things directly. Waited for the car to enter the main lane and stabilize. I spoke directly. Xiao Wei. She looked at me wide-eyed. I hesitated with what to say, reconsidering word choice. Then asked, before, you said you wanted me to manage you more. Even said if you make mistakes, scolding or hitting is fine, right? Sophia tilted her head, not understanding why I suddenly brought this up. She honestly nodded. You did say that. I asked, do you have any special personal preferences? Sophia looked dazed, not understanding my meaning. She looked at me with doubtful eyes. I said it straight. Sophia's face immediately flushed. No, not like that. I don't have those things. Not that type. I said, it's okay though. Just between us. Doesn't affect anyone. I tried probing further. Sophia kept shaking her head in denial, looking at her sincere eyes. Didn't seem like lying. Then why did you say you wanted me to manage you? Even saying scolding or hitting is fine. Didn't expect to make me misunderstand like that. Sophia awkwardly explained. Seemed too flustered. So she spoke a bit messily. Basically, she thought her temperament was terrible. Needed scolding or hitting to be corrected. Then she mentioned Dad passing away, saying after leaving school and losing Dad, she had no one to manage her anymore. She felt being managed by others was very happy. In summary, she considered herself a bad child, wanting someone to properly teach her. I considered it understood. Misunderstanding ended here. I drove Sophia to work. Both simply said goodbye. I sat in the car, lost in thought. Doing wrong then wanting punishment. Being managed by others makes her feel happy. So ultimately, where's the difference? Chapter 43. The difference. Parents managing children, teachers managing students, or me managing Sophia, actually all essentially the same. Specifically, when that person does something wrong. Someone stands up, hoping they can become a better version of themselves. Seeing them do wrong makes one angry. Can scold, even can hit. Because not wanting to see them suffer will pull them back to the right path. I thought all morning. Finally understanding. Like myself as a child. Truly stubborn. Made plenty of mistakes. Got hit on the bottom with Dad's belt. Got ruler slapped on palm by teacher. Scolding. Don't even mention, constant. But each time scolded or hit, I knew it was because they cared. Though it truly hurt, inside still felt warm. Perhaps that was the happiness Sophia mentioned. Everyone has different definitions of happiness. If I made big mistakes, I'd also hope people I cherished would be strict with me. I liked gentle, peaceful happiness. But didn't oppose strict love either. Happiness has many forms. Both ways can coexist. I loved gentle tranquility, while Sophia liked discipline and seriousness. If wanting to bring happiness to others, must give them the happiness they desire. Not use one's own definition to impose on others, then excuse it as caring about you. However good the starting point, still makes others uncomfortable. I naturally wouldn't do that. I wanted to respect her, give her the happiness she truly needed. I started reconsidering how I was being beside Sophia. Time at the company passed quickly. When working, I focused on work. When free, thought about how to harmonize with Sophia better. Sophie Chen, after seeing my old car, stopped bothering me. Probably gave up. Good, I felt relieved. Until getting off work. Goodbye, team leader. Bye, team leader. What day next week for the gathering? You all discuss among yourselves. Next Saturday or Sunday both work. I'll follow the arrangement. This week's really busy, sorry, haha. Team leader, you're too kind. Goodbye, team leader. Bye then. I'm leaving first. Team leader, bye-bye. I was originally very good at socializing. After 2 weeks working together, I'd grown familiar with everyone in the group. Could joke around with each other. This week, the main programming side assigned many tasks. This weekend I had to handle them at home. So the team gathering had to be postponed to next week. Though already the weekend didn't feel like a weekend at all. I sighed, hurriedly finishing documents. Soon Sophia would get off. I had to pick her up. People in the office thinning out. I organized the documents, grabbed my things, rushing out of the company. On the other side, at Feng Yuan supermarket, Sophia stood waiting by the roadside in front. She looked at her phone, hesitating. Hearing a car, looked up. Gaze following the car that just shot past from left to right. Wind from the car blowing, messing up stray hairs by her ears. Then lowered her head again, looking at the chat on her phone, hesitating. Should she message him? Sophia's finger hovered over the screen. Don't know if he's busy. Would definitely disturb him. Wait a bit more, until that white car appeared in view. She confirmed the license plate. Face immediately brightened when the car stopped before her. Sorry. Got held up with work a bit. I explained the situation to her. Did you wait long? Sophia sat in the passenger seat, closing the car door, fastening seatbelt, smiling brightly at me. No, I just got off too. I slowly started the car, casually asking, the supermarket has overtime too? Sophia, unprepared, answered immediately, no. Just said it, then knew she'd slipped up. She pressed her lips, gaze occasionally glancing toward me. I said, Xiao Wei. I thought a moment. How do you want me to manage you? Both adults now. I didn't want to beat around the bush either. My thoughts always jumped around. Talking about this could suddenly switch to something else. Sophia had gotten used to it. She froze. Then honestly answered, if possible. I want you to be stricter with me. Being harsher is okay too. Inside the car suddenly became quiet. I seemed to be pondering something. Sophia lowered her head, fidgeting with fingers, wondering if she shouldn't have demanded this. A moment later, she said worriedly, you can treat me however you want. As long as you're happy. I didn't let her finish. Cut in. If I'm too strict, you must tell me. Sophia hadn't reacted yet. I acted serious, saying, did you hear clearly? She came to her senses, immediately sitting up straight. Yes, I heard. So nostalgic. This feeling of being managed by others. Was truly very happy. Red light ahead appeared. I didn't look at her. Asking, off work. Why didn't you message me? My voice very calm. Clearly a question, but more like interrogating. With a bit of cross-examination. Sophia left the happy emotion from just now. Gaze lightly glancing toward me. I was afraid of disturbing your work. Didn't I say it was fine? Sophia mumbled, yes, you did say that. Voice somewhat stuttering. She was both afraid, yet in her eyes shone a different light. Right, this was the feeling. Completely different from the vague fear. When meeting strangers, this was the feeling of knowing she'd done wrong. And waiting for unpredictable punishment. Her eyes now contained joy, knowing the other person cared and wanted her to be better. Happiness was obvious without words. Why didn't you listen? I'm sorry. How long were you standing by the road waiting? Sophia fumbled, just a few minutes. I know what time you get off. I said one bland sentence. Without any additional explanation. Sophia lowered her head, voice barely audible. Actually, I waited nearly half an hour. Then the green light came on. I kept my voice calm like the rhythm of the starting car. Even carrying a hint of laughter. You did very well. Rather wait half an hour. Then send me one message. Sophia lowered her head, couldn't squeeze out a smile. Hey, do you remember I'm your boyfriend? I remember. Her voice trembling. I laughed lightly. Still remember? I thought you forgot. Might as well not have one. Doesn't seem any different. Sophia obediently kept her head down being scolded. Actually, I wasn't saying anything harsh. But she started crying. Like a good student rarely scolded by teachers. Even very mild criticism still made tears fall like small pearls. Sophia was originally quick to tears. Being told off by me a few lines. She kept her head down the whole way, tears falling continuously. Car stopped by the roadside below the rental complex. I handed her a tissue. I didn't mean to blame you. Think about it yourself. Sophia took the tissue, lifting her face to wipe tears. Her voice choked. I know you're doing this for my good. I was wrong. I know I was wrong. Knowing you're wrong is good. Stop crying. Look up at me. Sophia used the tissue to dab tears a few more times. Sniffling softly, then obediently looked up at me. Her eyes reddened. Lashes wet, gaze dewy. Looking at that small face lifted up, I suddenly felt a strange emotion rising inside. She was truly beautiful. I reached out with the tissue, helping her wipe away the tear still on her cheek. Why crying? Silly. Sophia felt uncomfortable for doing wrong, couldn't help it. Sorry. Her voice after crying became hoarse. Things like this don't need apologies. When withdrawing my hand, I couldn't help lightly stroking her cheek once. Go home and eat properly. Tonight I won't call you out for a walk. This week's a bit busy with work. Sophia answered softly. Simple goodbye. When she got out, I still didn't forget to remember to message me more. Won't be a bother at all. She obediently nodded in agreement. Chapter 44. Morning date. Actually, should say noon to be accurate, because it was nearly 12 o'clock. I woke with hair messy as a bird's nest. Last night handled work until late. Then tossed and turned unable to sleep. Don't even know what time I finally dozed off. Groggily went to the bathroom to brush teeth, using the toothpaste Mom had squeezed. Seems this morning, Mom squeezed too much again and it fell in the sink. The house was strangely quiet. Not a soul around. No wonder Mom let me sleep in. Just finished brushing and washing. Phone rang. I grabbed a towel to wipe my face, then ran to answer. It was Mom. Hello? Mom, what's up? You're home, right? Yes, home. Then drive out to pick Mom up. Mom went to the supermarket with Auntie Zhang. Bought too much stuff. At Feng Yuan supermarket. Hurry over. After saying, Mom hung up. I changed out of pajamas. Grabbed car keys and left home. Parking lot beside Feng Yuan supermarket. My mom had just hung up. Before her were the Zhang mother-daughter pair. Lan, let my son drive you home, more convenient. My mom waved her hand. No need. Let your son come pick you up. Not assigning him tasks. He'll sleep until noon on weekends. Zhang Shufang laughed along. Right. My house too. My daughter's exactly the same. Being exposed right in front of others. Zhang Yun awkwardly turned away. Standing quietly beside, saying nothing. Listening to the two adults chat. Zhang Yun this morning had nothing to do. Planned to sleep in. Who knew Mom would drag her to the supermarket? When their own family already ran a small supermarket. Don't know why Mom still liked wandering big supermarkets. She looked toward the parking lot entrance. Earlier heard Mom say, Auntie Lan's son had returned to Riverside for work. And lately was often mentioned before her. Said though my salary wasn't high. I was very proper, tall, handsome, and very polite. She kept repeating and repeating. Intentions so obvious couldn't be more obvious. Zhang Yun completely ignored it. As someone firmly against marriage, these things held no appeal for me. I looked toward the entrance gate, somewhat curious. Elementary school desk mate. Don't know how he'd changed now. Then a familiar white car drove in from the gate. Seemed like a colleague's car. I looked at the license plate. No impression. The car stopped at an empty spot not far away. Mrs. Huilan saw, then called loudly toward the person getting out, Over here, Ethan Carter. I jogged over. Why's your hair like a crow's nest? Mrs. Huilan said bluntly without restraint. Wasn't I rushing out to pick you up? I laughed, answering. Seeing the person standing nearby, I politely greeted, Hello, Auntie Zhang. Zhang Shufang smiled back. Yes, hello. Mrs. Huilan said, This is Zhang Yun. In elementary school you two were deskmates, remember? Following my mom's introduction, I looked over. Zhang Yun had recognized me first. Earlier had met me at the parking lot near the company. I had completely forgotten. Didn't we meet before? I then explained everything clearly. I gradually remembered. That day doing the procedures. Handing over the car, we met. No wonder felt familiar then. Turns out elementary school classmate. The two parents still arm in arm chatting. Standing there was just waiting anyway. So Zhang Yun and I also conveniently chatted a bit. Learned Jong Yun was working at that processing company, even as design team leader. And my company had just established long-term cooperation. The more we talked, the more coincidental. Jong Yun asked, "You also work in design? If that's truly the case, then later we'll probably work together often." I shook my head. "I'm just a small programmer in the technical team." "Oh, I see." The two parents said goodbye to each other. Jong Yun and I also simply greeted each other, each following our own mother, each going home. On the way home, in the car, Zhang Shufang glanced at her daughter driving, saying meaningfully, "Mom wasn't wrong, was she?" A tall, handsome young man. Polite and energetic too. Zhang Yun answered, "Really very good indeed." Said so honestly. Zhang Shufang's eyes lit up. "See? Mom saw you two chatting quite happily." "Stop it." Zhang Yun called out, "Mom. Just now was only coincidentally learning. Our companies cooperate. Found it surprising. Don't overthink it. Besides, whether he's good or not, what's it to me?" Zhang Shufang sighed helplessly, looking out the passenger window. "Mom, I'm truly fine living alone." "Not necessary." Zhang Shufang spoke again, cutting off her daughter. "Right. This morning Mom saw really good tenderloin at the supermarket. Bought 2 strips. Want sweet and sour or make soup?" "Sweet and sour. And for soup, I want tomato egg soup." "Didn't buy tomatoes." Later when passing the market. "Stop and buy 2. On the way home." Mother and daughter discussed today's meal while going. Zhang Shufang suddenly recalled when her daughter was little, often bringing me home to play. Back then jokingly asked, "Do you like Ethan Carter?" The little girl said she liked him. Even said when grown up would be my bride. Once at a parent meeting. Even told Mrs. Huilan that story. Both found it funny then. Joking about being in-laws. In a blink, her daughter had grown up. When little, every day babbling about marriage. Growing up, told Mom straight out, "Mom, I won't get married." Said living alone was fine. But when hearing her daughter personally say that to her, saying she wasn't shocked at all would be lying. As a mother, how could she be that tolerant and relaxed? Argued about this many times. But seeing her daughter so determined, eventually she gradually accepted it. Alone then alone. Just occasionally still hoped. What if she met someone making her want to marry? Who knows? Rental area near Riverside High School. Sophia was cooking simple dishes with a small pot, combined with noodles and eggs. Much better than plain water noodles. Though she still hadn't received salary. At least work had a start. She was also beginning planned spending. Improving meals a bit. Today she wasn't at the supermarket working. Not because she requested off either. Her being home was completely the boss's decision. Honestly, this was the first time she met such a casual boss. Last night the boss called, saying wanted to dedicate tomorrow to her daughter. So today got the day off. She suddenly had an extra day off for unclear reasons. Having it off, she didn't just lie around resting. When I wasn't beside her, she still tried hard, working to step out of her shell. This morning she tried going to buy vegetables. Since psychological issues worsened, she hadn't been to crowded places in nearly 2 years. This morning, stepping into the traditional market, she felt scared. But fortunately didn't reach the point of an episode. Just when asking vegetable prices was extremely difficult. Due to tension and anxiety, couldn't speak. Couldn't form proper sentences. When able to speak, still stuttered badly. The more she stuttered, the more tense and frightened. The more frightened, the less fluently she spoke. The vicious cycle continued. If I were beside her, even scared, she could speak normally. But alone couldn't. For her, speaking was extremely difficult. Fortunately her mind was also quick. Thought of a method. Wait for others to ask prices first. She stood beside buying the same. Wait for the vendor to state the price. She just needed to pay. That way didn't need to say anything. Anyway, bought vegetables herself. Could consider it a small step back to normal life. Thinking this inside, she felt happy. Set down the small pot to cool. In this small room, Sophia took out her phone. Opening my chat window. Since yesterday being taught a lesson by me. Inside she felt more relieved. Today she'd made progress herself. Really wanted to share with me. Wanted to be praised a little. Moreover, I'd said to message more. Sophia hesitated a moment, typing. What are you doing? On the other side, Mom and I had just gotten home. Bringing vegetables to the kitchen. Heard the message notification sound. I quickly checked, saw immediately. Miss here proactively messaged. Yesterday just taught a lesson. Immediately effective. Miss Sophia truly needed more teaching. Typed back. Just bought vegetables and came back. Probably the supermarket's on lunch break now? Sophia had today off. I remembered she'd told me. She worked rotating shifts, not fixed Sundays off. Sophia said the boss had things so gave the day off. Worthy of being the boss. Running your own shop, truly do whatever you want. I thought this inside, also somewhat wanting to meet this boss. Don't know what kind of person. While I was still lost in random thoughts, another message came. From Sophia. Today I went to buy vegetables. Cooked spinach with tofu, plus tomato egg noodles too. I looked at the message and couldn't help laughing. So innocent it's excessive. How could someone through a screen still reveal such sincerity? That wanting to be praised type. Only missing writing, praise me quickly. But honestly, with Sophia's condition, going to market was truly not easy. Looked like just a few words recounting. But how many obstacles she overcame. Only she knew clearly. So why wouldn't that deserve praise? I was about to message back. Suddenly thought of something. Sophia now had work. Today she rarely had off. Could try inviting her out for a bit. Perhaps she'd agree. I called her. The other end picked up almost immediately. I said this afternoon wanted to take her downtown for a walk. Eat some small pastries. Sophia answered it was too expensive. Wanted to wait more. Wait until I get my salary. I said, salary will come eventually anyway. Besides, my girlfriend is so good. Trying so hard. As a boyfriend, I want to show something too. Just a small pastry portion. Actually, I really want to eat it too. Hope you'll give me this chance. To go eat with you. Sophia originally didn't have much social experience. No scheming either. I just needed slight skill in words. To easily guide her. First was seeing through her needs. Hitting the weak spot. Saying a few lines making her happy. Later words hiding earlier ones. Quietly shifting concepts. Helping her minimize psychological burden. Finally even conveniently affirming her future. Leading main emotions in a positive direction. Sophia just like that hazily agreed. She had no idea about my conversational techniques. Just felt strangely happy. I'd just hung up. When got a strong familiar feeling. Like I'd just coaxed an innocent girl. On the other side, Sophia hugged her phone smiling a long while. He just praised me. When she remembered there were still noodles in the pot. The noodles had cooked mushy into a clump. Chapter 45. Smart and silly. Normal and abnormal. S2 doing this in the evening. Isn't that kind of not great? This thing usually happens in the evening anyway. Daytime's more embarrassing. You also feel I seem tense? It's my first time. It's okay, later we'll do it many more times. Roadside parking lot in the city. Sophia and I were sitting in the car talking softly. The little puppy quietly looking out the window. The pastry shop on weekends. This place at exactly 7:30 p.m. would have a half-price pastry buffet with no time limit. So both of us didn't eat dinner. Deliberately coming here. Result. Remembered the time wrong. Just 7 o'clock, already arrived. Asked and learned still half an hour before starting. Both sat in the car waiting. I said, later you must eat a lot. Otherwise wasting the wait. Sophia answered, yes. I leaned on the car window. Gaze determined, ready to battle. I looked at her, corners of mouth carrying a smile. Really like playing with a child. Lines like, do this often. All fooling her. Usually I had to work overtime until late. Where would there be free time? To run eat half-price buffets costing tens of thousands? Saying that was just to make this silly girl feel less guilty inside, but seeing her this happy. This half-hour wait completely worth it. Time came. The shop employee walked out, hanging the half-price pastry buffet sign at the entrance. Very punctual. I said, let's go, it started. We must be the first table. I urged, hurry up. Sophia smiled brightly, pushing the car door and stepping out. Being with him was so fun. Everything became more interesting. The employee had just entered back inside. We walked in right after. Hearing the door chime, the employee turned, smiling. Welcome. I stepped up to confirm the buffet code purchased. We chose a corner seat. When getting pastries, had to interact a bit with staff. Sophia wasn't good at talking with strangers. So I handled everything. The small pastry items, I went to get them. This type of half-price buffet actually meant the shop wanted to dispose of leftover pastries from the day. Recoup some cost. Conveniently increasing brand reputation. Both customers and shop benefited. But around this time, not many buffet eaters. Looking around, only 3 or 4 tables had customers. I got another round of pastries. Glanced around, then returned to our spot. I asked, "Feel sick of it? They have free juice here. What kind you want?" I set down the tray. Looking at her, mouth still had some cream. Her whole face radiantly happy. The innocent smile she gave me made my heart melt. Sophia smiled gently, casually asking, "What kinds are there?" I answered, "There's this lemonade, watermelon juice, and also." Just now I didn't pay close attention. "Let me go check again. Don't need to trouble yourself." Sophia called me back, shyly saying, "Lemonade is fine." Okay, I stood to get it for her. Very gentle and attentive, not showing annoyance or reluctance at all. This kind of meticulous care touched people more than sweet words. Watching my retreating figure, Sophia held her spoon, somewhat dazed. If only she were a normal person. Even just pretending. If only she tried appearing more normal. Trying harder. Then he wouldn't need to be this tired and exhausted. Along with her gaze gradually dimming. Like a star slowly falling. The sweet pastry in hand also gradually lost its sweetness. Before long, I returned holding 2 juice cups. I stuck a straw in one. Then handed it to her. "Thanks." Sophia took it and lowered her eyes. Both hands holding the cup. Thumbs lightly rubbing back and forth on the cup surface. I took a deep sip of juice. Opening my phone to scroll. Originally I wasn't someone who liked sweets. Eating a few pieces was enough. Corner tables in pastry shops like this were very small. Couldn't sit side by side. 2 people sat facing across a table. I scrolled my phone a few times. Discovering the other side was excessively quiet. Looked up at her. Don't know what that silly girl was thinking about again. Just now was happily eating pastries. Blink of an eye. Head lowered, gaze drooping. I asked worriedly, "What's wrong? Not feeling well?" Sophia shook her head lightly. Looking up at me, worrying about her. Her voice carried some choking. Suddenly asked, "Loving someone like me, is it very tiring?" I answered, "What are you talking about?" Seeing I didn't answer the question, Sophia lowered her head more. "I know I'm terrible myself. Can't communicate like normal people. Even getting food, don't dare speak. Have to ask you to get it. When it's crowded, only know to hide behind you. Not at all like anyone's girlfriend. Sometimes so scared. I even tremble uncontrollably. Acting strange. Like having mental illness. Loving someone like me. Just thinking about it seems painful. Really sorry. Already troubled you." She looked up. Her words also full of guilt. "Finished speaking?" My voice even. Sophia trembled slightly, realizing she just said too much. Troubled him. She hurriedly apologized. "Sorry. I said too much. Won't say it again later. Really sorry." I said nothing, waiting for her to finish. I pushed a small strawberry pastry before her. Smiling. "I remember you used to really like this. Just now, I saw the owner just put it out and got it for you. Thanks for still remembering." Sophia held the small spoon, not daring to look at me. "Yeah, my memory's good." I leaned back in my chair, my gaze stopping on the angel wing painting, stuck on the wall behind her. From my angle, Sophia looked like a little angel with head bowed. Beautiful and pure, but carrying a heavy feeling she couldn't shake off. I quietly watched her head down, eating pastry spoonful by spoonful. From her, I could no longer feel the sweet happiness overflowing like earlier. The atmosphere became filled with sour and bitter tastes. Even her favorite pastry couldn't make her happy. This silly girl I sighed lightly. Silent a moment, I muttered to myself, my girlfriend. She tries so hard and loves me so much. Those words made Sophia tremble slightly. Her hand eating pastry also slowed. Slower and slower. Like harmonizing with the light music in the shop. She kept her head down. Voice small and lacking confidence, asking, "Do you still love her?" I didn't rush to answer. Picking up the lemonade for a sip. Gaze somewhat dazed looking into the glass bottom. Small watermarks remained on the table. I thought a moment, then gently spoke. She's very silly. Always wanting to try appearing smarter. She thinks because she's silly, I won't like her. Precisely because she's so silly. She imagines I won't love her. But she doesn't know. I don't love her because she's smart. Won't dislike her because she's silly either. Whether normal or not normal. This world doesn't have many truly normal people anyway. Even if different from others, it's fine. Even if not smart, it's fine. I said slowly, sentence by sentence. Then looked up at the girl before me. The one with head bowed eating the small strawberry pastry. Both avoiding and hiding. What angel. Clearly just a little ostrich. Pretending not to hear. Whole face nearly buried in the pastry. Shoulders still trembling slightly, suppressing. Don't know what there is to cry about. I shook my head lightly looking at her. This girl was hopelessly silly. Chapter 46. This silly girl. This one's for you. Someone who likes strawberry pastries willing to give the strawberry to others. No need to doubt anymore. If that strawberry has no issues, then it's definitely true love. Looking at the strawberry Sophia offered, I was a bit stunned. Could it be stained with tears so she didn't want it? Then gave it to me? No. Sophia blushed explaining, this piece is really good. So I wanted to save it for you. After saying, afraid I'd find it troublesome. She added softly, tears didn't touch it, not dirty. I heard and understood immediately. This silly girl was overthinking again. What's this about me finding it gross? I could only helplessly laugh. Then decisively took the strawberry and put it in my mouth. She asked tentatively, sweet? Delicious. Sophia sighed with relief. Happy smile blooming on her lips again. Continuing to happily eat pastries. I truly admired her. How could she keep eating without getting sick of it? I drank a sip of lemonade. Then turned to look toward the pastry counter. Seemed they'd just put out some new varieties. I'll go get some more. I turned back asking her. Sophia smiled gently answering, okay. But don't get too much. I'm feeling kind of full. After Sophie Chen just finished watching a movie and was heading home. Passing the pastry shop, felt a bit hungry. So casually stepped in to check. The employee said there was a half-price buffet program. Just pay the price of 3 or 4 pastries. Pretty good deal, and anyway had nothing to do. So she followed the suggestion and bought a buffet ticket. Then randomly chose a seat. Didn't expect to be too optimistic. After one piece, Sophie Chen already felt sick of it. Mainly because the pastries here were truly mediocre. Cheap pastry shops, couldn't expect much. If not passing by and hungry, she definitely would never choose to eat here. From the cream ingredients, to the baking texture, the pastry base was nothing special either. Moreover, most were pre-made. The more she ate, the less interested. Was about to stand up and get fruit juice to cut the sweetness. But thinking again. Who knows if it's real juice? Probably just mixed with chemical sugar. Fine, consider it a small loss. Consider it a lesson from the young boss. Sophie Chen picked up her small bag preparing to leave. Give me a piece of green tea tiramisu. That's strawberry mousse. Give me 2 pieces then. Actually, make it 3. A gentle yet somewhat familiar voice. The voice sounded pleasant too. But don't know why, when entering the ears, felt like torture. Sophie Chen involuntarily shuddered, looking up toward where the voice came from. After matching the voice with the person before her eyes, confirmed no mistake. The feeling of being dragged into an unwilling work conversation suddenly became extremely reasonable. If it's her, everything could be explained. Sophie Chen instinctively just wanted to flee. But reason held her firmly in place. Inside her head began struggling. Should she walk over to greet or not? Outside the company. Probably won't get dragged into work talk, right? Being tormented by me at the company until scared. This was the first time in her life Sophie Chen felt fear. Facing a man like this. Thinking it over. Tonight Sophie Chen went to see a movie. Actually also related to me. Because of that old car incident last time. Sophie Chen started doubting my true identity. While working at the company, she'd planned to probe. But couldn't extract any information. Instead got tormented by me. Had to wait until the break. Then ask friends working at headquarters. Confirmed and reconfirmed many times. Finally certain that I was indeed someone headquarters sent for training. A key talent being cultivated. She felt indignant. Such high salary. Yet couldn't tell at all. Could there be some bad habit? Debts piled up. Salary all goes to paying debts? But didn't seem like it either. She tossed and turned thinking all day. Finally still wanted to believe. I was simply living frugally. Whatever the case. She also started planning to approach me. Confirmed clearly. I was a high-quality meal ticket. She couldn't miss this pursuit plan. At next weekend's group gathering. Sophie Chen was very confident in her tactics. She blamed all previous failures on the company environment. Just leave the company. As long as I didn't talk work with her. She firmly believed. Even if I were as rigid as a log. She'd have ways to make me a hooked fish. Plan already laid out. Reward herself a bit. Go watch a movie. On the way back, stomach a bit hungry. Then coincidentally met in this pastry shop. Sophie Chen sat in place. Watching me at the counter getting pastries in the distance. Eyes flashing with cunning and danger. Like a gray wolf lurking in the bushes. Tracking a white rabbit moving. I'll just follow the plan. Wait for next weekend's group gathering to make my move. Just getting pastries and smiling so brightly. No one even around. Sophie Chen didn't hide the contempt in her eyes. Glaring at him. Half-price buffet. Total garbage. Yet still can smile. Looks like never eaten good food. Stingy to the extreme. Don't know if after sleeping with him. Could even extract any money from his wallet. Her gaze followed me returning to the corner. Her chair faced away from me. Once sitting down, couldn't see the face. But from this angle. Just happened to clearly see the girl sitting across from me. Sophie Chen's expression became serious. Assessing from top to bottom. Young, pretty. Smiled very beautifully. Good figure too. She ate pastries while smiling at me. Both chatted very happily. Sophie Chen's face darkened. First time she felt herself having no chance of winning in appearance. His girlfriend? Honestly speaking, if there weren't big benefits involved, she wouldn't like interfering in others' relationships either. I wasn't the wasteful spending type anyway. Couldn't extract much. Stealing someone's boyfriend like that wasn't worth it. Sophie Chen silently reconsidered pros and cons. Looking at that beautiful girl. Honestly felt a bit jealous. That girl was the pure and innocent beauty type. Natural and sincere. Without any social manipulation skills. Actions carried no calculation or scheming. Could even say somewhat clumsy. No tricks. Just relying on inner temperament. That was true beauty radiating from inside and out. Beautiful to the point of making people jealous. No wonder at the company. Ethan Carter wouldn't even notice her tactics. With a girlfriend this beautiful and pure. He'd already seen someone better. So naturally immune to petty flirtation tricks. Thinking this, Sophie Chen no longer felt inferior like before. Thought her skills weren't enough. Turns out she targeted the wrong person. No matter how innocent she pretended. Couldn't match a truly pure girl. Information was way too off. If she'd known earlier that I had such a pure girlfriend. From the start she should have changed her approach. Just be straightforward and seduce more boldly. Completely different from the innocent girlfriend at home. If at the company there was a proactive subordinate like that. Exploiting men's easily swayed feeling for novelty. Would definitely have results already. Wouldn't have been tortured all this time. Sometimes, choosing the wrong direction is worse than misguided effort. While summarizing lessons learned, Sophie Chen carefully observed that girl. The more she looked, the more familiar. Don't know if they'd met somewhere before. Staring intently like that, thinking a long while, her eyes suddenly lit up. Sophie Chen suddenly remembered something. Opening her phone. Tapping on a short video app. Tapping and touching. screen scrolling through several videos. Mouth muttering, not this one. Not this either. Suddenly her finger stopped. She hit pause, holding up the phone, comparing the girl in the video with the girl eating pastries in the distance, imagining merging the two. Weren't they the same person? She sneered. Thought she was a truly innocent girl. Who knew, turns out. Just the type selling suggestive content, skirting rules online. Ridiculous. Just now thought she was formidable. Turns out completely not the same class. Sophie Chen withdrew her gaze. That feeling of needing to be wary over competing for resources also vanished. Sophie Chen. I may be a bit loose in private life, but it's only to the degree of changing boyfriends somewhat frequently. Or put another way, relationships not smooth. What I do, at most just trying to find ways for boyfriends to spend money on me. That's all. I have proper work. But those relying on rule-skirting videos, labeling themselves suggestive to hook engagement for a living, or opportunistically earning extra on the side, can't compare to me at all. In Sophie Chen's eyes, those people were no different from prostitutes. Though also for money, the nature was completely different. She proactively chose quality men, then started dating, while those living by skirting boundaries just knew day after day selling suggestiveness, relying on crowd attention, then waiting for someone to pay to support them. Even just one night was fine. If lucky enough to meet some fool willing to marry, could become their household princess. Living uselessly yet comfortably. The essence was using youth and appearance to trade. Those earning extra that way were much worse. Didn't even match those living off suggestiveness. Sometimes selling suggestiveness to hook views for petty cash. Meeting interested people, then scoring big at once. All just that. Sophie Chen always looked down on those living off such things. Not just selling suggestiveness, but like gambling addicts too. People versus playthings, what's to compare? She picked up her bag and left the pastry shop. On the drive home, she started readjusting her plan with me. Now thinking back, that girl making rule-skirting videos, probably not my girlfriend either. Based on my conditions, that suggestive merchandise, could play with. Playing was fine. But as girlfriend, only someone brain damaged would choose. Of course couldn't rule out the possibility. He was a fool she tricked. Though probability of that happening was very low. That girl's behavior completely didn't resemble a high-level hunter. 80 or 90% chance. Ethan Carter originally wasn't any honest person. Probably scrolling online saw that rule-skirting video. Discovered same city. Then spent a little money arranging to meet once. After eating, then to a hotel. At the company pretending indifferent. Not bothering to notice the tricks she pulled. Turns out secretly venting like this. The more she thought this direction, the more reasonable it seemed. That pile of cheap terrible pastries I didn't touch with chopsticks. But she ate very happily. Those living off suggestiveness, what good food could they eat? But having said that, this Ethan guy truly was stingy. With his financial conditions, why not choose somewhere better to eat? Wouldn't cost that much. If someday she truly became my girlfriend, probably couldn't extract much either. Sophie Chen felt victory was in her hands. Already calculating post-relationship, how to make me willing to spend on her. This Ethan guy, already spending money for fun with suggestive girls. So doesn't that mean needs are pretty high? At the company pretending innocent. Definitely suppressing a lot. Having needs makes him easier to control. Thought he was the difficult type. Who knew? Easy as flipping a hand. Yet I was still scheming all sorts of plans. Truly ridiculous. Chapter 47. The rule-skirting girl gets her wish. Pastry buffet started 7:30 p.m. to 10:30. 3 full hours. Both ate until the shop closed before leaving. Sophia fought very well. Kept eating various small pastries. As for me, different story. Just ate a few pieces at first. Got sick of it, turned to stuffing things like spicy fries. Or instant noodle snacks left free. Actually my eating capacity wasn't bad. Just couldn't eat many sweets. Honestly, for a long period ahead, I wouldn't want to eat more sweets. When getting back in the car, Sophia was still sharing with me which pastry earlier was the best. saying next time must eat more of that. Truly impressive, she never got sick of it. From the bottom of my heart I felt admiration. Looking at the girl in the passenger seat with radiant face. Recalling while describing the flavors of various pastries. I thought to myself, my girlfriend truly was strangely easy to satisfy. I said, if you like it, next time let's come again. She smiled, answering without hesitation. Yes, okay. After saying, I suddenly remembered, that place costs money. And I just bought a car. I continued, if you really like it, wait till I get my salary, then I'll treat you. Really want to eat more? I felt my throat still had that sickly sweet taste. But still forced myself to stay calm, answering, yeah. Initially this outing, I deliberately said I craved pastries. So she'd come along. Lied myself, however painful, had to grit teeth and complete it. Hoped by salary time, I'd completely forget this. Sophia heard me agree. Inside felt strangely happy. Just thinking I'd use salary to buy her food. Already felt happy. Actually, I really like eating pastries too. Though you said inviting me along. I truly ate very happily. Thank you for treating me. Your kindness, I'll always remember in my heart. Not just in her heart either. She'd also write it in her small notebook at home. I smiled bitterly. Reluctantly answering, remembering is enough. Remembering is enough. Don't mention pastries again. Suddenly I felt nauseated. Speaking of salary, Sophia sat in the passenger seat, starting to talk about her salary plans. She said she'd buy a small pan, cutting board, knife, and some necessary kitchen items. Recently working at the supermarket. Mornings she just ate bread. The boss said could bring food. The shop had a microwave to heat. She calculated, cooking herself would save a lot. Sophia spoke in detail about her future plans. These things she'd already written in her small notebook. So recounting was very logical. Actually inside she had other thoughts. Telling me her plans. Just so I'd know she was working hard to live better. Hoping I'd wait for her a bit longer. Give her a little more time. Because she truly wanted to love me seriously. While she was talking, I leaned from the driver's seat. My body leaning over, blocking the ceiling light in the car. A shadow fell over Sophia. She watched me slowly leaning closer. Her voice also grew quieter. Then stopped completely. Lips parted slightly, not saying another word. Even breathing became gentle. Heartbeat increasingly chaotic. I got closer and closer. Bit by bit, my body like darkness slowly pressing down. Sophia stared intently at my face. Breathing gradually becoming messy. Her gaze stopped at my lips. Involuntarily swallowed. Then closed her eyes. Tilting her face up slightly, ready to receive. Distance so close could smell the fabric softener from my shirt. Right after, I gently helped her fasten her seatbelt. Then returned to the driver's seat. I asked, not feeling well? Your face is all red. Oh no, I'm fine. Sophia quickly turned her face away. Busily tucking hair behind her ear. Being stared at like that by me. She started fumbling, speaking messily. Maybe a bit hot. I laughed out loud. Taking that chance, she used her hand to fan her burning face. People when flustered always pretend to be busy. Thought you said hot, but tonight's cold. I looked out the window, seeing pedestrians all wearing jackets. Probably just your body heat is high. Sophia started talking nonsense. On the drive back, I thoughtfully cracked the window for her. And then, cold wind blowing in, made her continuously shudder from cold. Her own lie, however miserable, had to endure completely. Sophie Chen lay on the sofa wearing a face mask. Phone playing short videos of scantily clad girls. Looking at faces, looking at figures. Looking at provocative clothes and descriptions. Looking at suggestive movements and dialogue. She sighed. Finger scrolling to the next video. She always had a hobby. While wearing face masks, watching scantily clad girls' videos. She watched not to appreciate. Not out of lust either. Simply to find a sense of superiority. People lack what they care most about. Each time seeing girls younger than herself. More beautiful. Yet fallen to filming suggestive videos. Using bodies to make a living. She felt happy physically and mentally. From inside felt refreshed. Of course, she didn't lack youth or beauty. What she truly craved was love. Having filmed such suggestive videos, those people basically said goodbye to love. Men weren't stupid. They knew clearly some things were very dirty. Playing around was fine. But truly wanting to love and marry, absolutely wouldn't consider this type. Her sense of superiority came from there. What good was youth and beauty? No proper work. No social ability whatsoever. Just knew every way to show off bodies for views. Then sat waiting for others' pity. Oh right, Sophie Chen. Especially liked going to those scantily clad girls' comment sections. Comments full of teasing remarks. Vulgar language abundant. Some comments were subtle. Some truly disgusting. Some scantily clad girls would also respond to those provocative comments. Then followed by self-proclaimed true fans, together condemning that vulgar language. But actually, those teasing commenters were just part of the act. Those scantily clad girls had already sold themselves. They knew clearly what they were getting views from. Put plainly, those they scolded were precisely their target audience. The true majority, those true fans were just scattered few. Didn't bring many views at all. One called Pure Trang always said she was just dancing. Sharing life. Said freedom to dress, no bad intentions. Using that as a tool. Turning herself into a victim. Exploiting true fans as hired fighters. Personally defending herself. Using righteous names to counterattack disgusting comments. Thus stirring controversy. If lucky, creating some drama. Increasing views. But asking conscience a bit. Wiggling buttocks, making suggestive moves, is that dancing? Sexually provocative underwear, is that normal dress? Ambiguous movements and expressions, truly no bad intentions? Actually everyone understood. Those true fans were just part of the game between scantily clad girls and lustful men, being exploited without knowing, still thinking they were defending moral righteousness, feeling very accomplished, sometimes even got donated money for it. Of course, many typed long comforting messages, moved by themselves, considered adding meager views. In scantily clad girls' eyes, true fans' role only went that far. Online was that clear. As for real life, people wouldn't do anything to those scantily clad girls. Everyone acted gentle, even knowing she was filming provocative videos. To her face would still praise. Wow, so pretty, so beautiful. Truly charming, and such. But inside wasn't like that. Labels like, loose woman. Specializing in seducing men, all stuck one way. Surface gentle, but inside already sentenced to death. Many men proactively approached those scantily clad girls, surrounding them, creating an illusion of many pursuers. Very popular, not because people truly accepted scantily clad girls. Not some great tolerance either. Not that those men were stupid, but because their life views were dominated by appearance. They had clear purposes. Mouth asking about dating, just wanting to spend less money while sleeping more times. Who truly loved a scantily clad girl? Who'd volunteer to be a free fool? Rivers and mountains may change, but nature is hard to alter. Even dogs can't quit chewing bones. Who knows? Here being sincere with her. Turn around and she's already in bed with someone else. Playing around was fine. Morality like a gear that could be adjusted. Just scantily clad girls. No need to take responsibility. Watching those young beautiful girls wasting their youth. Pushing themselves into filth. Completely saying goodbye to love. Sophie Chen felt truly refreshed beyond words. Oh right. Had to see which scantily clad girl Ethan Carter met tonight. Sophie Chen opened her short video account. That girl's nickname was very simple, called Little VY. She'd watched many scantily clad girls' videos. Mostly scrolled past and forgot immediately. After watching, no impression left. Only this Little VY, she still remembered a bit. Not because she was too beautiful, but because her suggestive content method was somewhat special. Sophie Chen glanced at the latest video upload date. Hasn't posted anything in 2 weeks? Sophie Chen was a bit puzzled. Then quickly understood. Probably hooked someone already. Temporarily didn't need to film videos for views. Now wasn't she clinging to Ethan Carter? She didn't care much either. Wait till the sugar daddy got bored. Wouldn't she obediently return to filming videos? All useless parasites on society. Sophie Chen casually found some sense of superiority again. Then clicked on a video with a suggestive title. The girl in the video wore provocative clothing, lying on a bed reading poetry in a gentle voice. Her voice sounded quite pleasant. No feeling of deliberate seduction. Sounded naturally sweet without fakeness. Combined with poetry's rhythm, Sophie Chen started remembering why she'd followed her. First, her suggestive content was quite novel. Second, the poems she read relaxed listeners. Also somewhat like ASMR. But distinctly different. Anyway, listening before sleep would make mood calmer. Sophie Chen once used her videos to help sleep. Sophie Chen returned to the channel's main page. No provocative dances. No vulgar content either. Video themes were almost similar. Her suggestive method was wearing cool clothes, filming from somewhat ambiguous angles, setting slightly sensitive titles, then lying on a bed, or sitting by a table, or leaning on a windowsill reading poetry and literature. Sophie Chen habitually opened the comments. Brothers discussing literature again. I like this camera angle. Don't move. I watch for free but still like. Wishing you good business. May I politely ask the price? I'm a bar owner here. One look and know it's selling bodies as main business. Almost all comments like that. No different from other scantily clad girls' comment sections. Sophie Chen scrolled through a few lines. Hearing that gentle reading voice, she started feeling sleepy. Turned off the video. Removed the face mask. Went to the bedroom. Before sleeping, Sophie Chen thought how to approach Ethan Carter, conveniently stepping on that scantily clad girl's face for satisfaction. Honestly, Sophie Chen still wasn't sure if Ethan Carter was a fool being tricked, or just hungry so found a scantily clad girl for temporary relief. Don't know if he knew. That girl was the cheap seductive type. Knowing or not knowing would require two different approaches. This time she couldn't choose wrong again. But also not difficult. Next week at work, probe a bit and done. Thinking how to probe cleverly, Sophie Chen thought a moment. Almost instinctively blurted out. Team leader, team leader. This weekend I saw you at the pastry shop. Oh, also saw your girlfriend. She's really beautiful. I'm even her fan. Look, here's the video she made. I always really liked it. Sophie Chen tried saying that. Those scheming words made herself sober up. Rolling on the bed. Such a snake. Even I can't stand myself. Probing Ethan Carter, while conveniently kicking that scantily clad girl. If Ethan Carter knew she was suggestive content, he'd say for face that she's just a friend, not a girlfriend. If he didn't know she was suggestive content, he'd be angry inside, silently thanking me for helping him see the other party's true nature. Whatever the case, I'd achieve my goal. Kick the scantily clad girl while testing Ethan Carter. Not just feeling refreshed, but beneficial for the next plan. You're truly cunning, tra. She happily cursed herself as vicious. Mood relaxed. Very quickly sank into sweet dreams. Dreaming of finding a fool to escape society's bottom. Daydreaming nonsense. Whatever happens, it's deserved. Humiliating scantily clad girls. Destroying petty schemes of scantily clad girls. Nothing made me happier. Chapter 48. Of that filthy pile. Dawn came later daily. 7 a.m. Outside the window still dim. Sophia was preparing to leave home. She leaned on the window, silently looking down waiting. Last night I said this morning would drive her to work. She didn't want to disturb my weekend rest. So refused, saying she could bike herself. Result. Got scolded by me. After being scolded, face still flushed with happiness. Last night she even dreamed of me. Thinking back on dream content, Sophia felt her face burning. All because yesterday I helped her fasten her seatbelt. That solid body nearly pressed onto her. Not thinking randomly would be strange. Dreaming embarrassing things was understandable. Sophia found reasonable justification for herself inside. The familiar white car appeared by the road. She immediately happily ran outside. Right by the roadside below the rental building. I'd just stopped the car. Took out phone about to message when glimpsed a scene. A small deer, running from the stairs with joyful excitement. No, not right. Should say a silly, dazed one. The more I looked, the sillier. Sophia ran over, face radiantly excited. Good morning. She got in the passenger seat, taking breakfast to give me. Thanks. Everything as usual. Though Sophia didn't wait by the road as instructed. Definitely still stood by the window watching. I wanted to say something to her but let it go. Thinking again, this also counted as listening. Really silly. I drove her to the roadside before Feng Yuan supermarket. After work, remember to message me. I'll come pick you up. Don't need to. I can bike back myself. I pretended to be serious. Want to be scolded again? Sophia shrank her neck. If you don't message me on time, then wait to be dealt with. Sophia lowered her head, hands picking at fingers. Those stern words made her scared. But hidden behind was concern. Making her feel happy. Right, exactly this feeling of being taught. Really like it. Speaking of which, he said deal with me. Deal how? Sophia's little head unconsciously imagined some things. Somewhat dazed, with a strange anticipation she shouldn't have. Did you hear clearly? Seeing her not answering, I emphasized once more. Sophia quickly came to her senses. Yes, heard. I narrowed my eyes at her. Early morning already dazed. What are you thinking? Sophia blushed, gaze avoiding. Nothing. Could she say she was imagining being dealt with by him? A bit strange. Both simply said goodbye. I watched her enter the supermarket. Then drove away. Getting home, both parents were out. Probably walking in the park. I dragged my tired steps to the bedroom. Flopping onto the bed, lying motionless like a corpse. Recently, the energetic spirit, positive state I displayed, were all fake. As long as no one was around, I'd return to original form. I was very tired, very exhausted. Of course, this had nothing to do with Sophia. The reason was pressure and anxiety from many sides causing insomnia. This week was the 4th time losing sleep. In my eyes, sleeping at 3 or 4 a.m. didn't count as insomnia. For me, insomnia was all night without closing eyes. Now lying on the bed, ear ringing sounded heavily, sound like electric currents running wild in my head, shrieking in bursts. I sighed. Next week probably had to go to the hospital for medicine. Before had been prescribed some sleep aids and anti-anxiety medication, but left them in Bayou, hadn't brought back. I set an alarm then locked the bedroom door. Now felt a bit sleepy. Wanted to nap a moment. Set alarm for 2:30 p.m. Tossing and turning on bed a long while. When the alarm rang, had only slept about an hour. Sleep very fitful. Like always, dreamed all sorts of random things. When waking, those chaotic dreams already forgotten clean. But the uncomfortable tired feeling in dreams still extended into reality. After sleeping felt even more tired. Though still better than not sleeping at all. I got out of bed, opening the fridge to find something to eat. Just stepped into the living room, met Dad just finishing his nap. When I met her, Mom was holding a cup of warm water. She showed surprise. You're home? I just simply answered last night didn't sleep well. This morning caught up on sleep in my room. Mrs. Huilan muttered a few lines, saying I hadn't eaten by noon. Irregular meals would harm the stomach. While talking, reheated food for me. Mom thought on weekends you went to see your girlfriend. Didn't notice you were sleeping in your room. Mrs. Huilan sat beside me. My mouth still holding rice, said vaguely today had work, no day off. Mother and son didn't say more about it. After eating I returned to my room, opening the computer. Recently, at the branch company where I was working on the game. Preparing to launch a major update. Pressure on the programming department was huge. Work the technical team leader assigned me also increased accordingly. Actually still bearable. Most troublesome was at headquarters. The person temporarily replacing my position had poor ability. Everything had to rely on me. I was now no different from doing 2 jobs simultaneously, both demanding high mental capacity. Both sides used completely different programming code. No relation whatsoever. I had to switch continuously without interruption. Always racking my brain. Not just pressure but extremely time-consuming and mentally draining. Even dedicating entire weekends to work still felt insufficient. Yesterday even took Sophia to dinner. 3 or 4 hours passed. Had to cut from my already meager sleep time to compensate. And this was just work pressure. Still had social relations too. At headquarters had many relationships to maintain. At the branch, I was team leader. Next week had to plan the weekend team party. Also had to maintain good relations with everyone. Week after, when the technical side returned from their business trip, would have to hand over tasks. This time I'd also proactively contacted to prepare in advance. I truly could juggle skillfully. Doing everything thoroughly, but didn't mean I wasn't tired. I also worried. Also felt exhausted. Sitting before the computer, without realizing, time to pick up Sophia. That silly girl was truly considerate. Even sent a message reporting she'd gotten off work. I replied simply, grabbed car keys and went out. Mind hazy. Going out for a drive was good too. Sunday around this time, traffic a bit heavy. Slow stretch, then caught by a red light. Sunset rays shining through the traffic light. A bit glaring. I casually pulled down the sun visor. In a small town like this, traffic jams only lasted minutes. Sometimes no jam at all. One more intersection and reaching Feng Yuan supermarket. I took a deep breath, hiding all the fatigue on my face inside. From afar saw Sophia waiting by the road. She smiled brightly. Had to admit, seeing this silly girl always improved my mood. I pulled the car to the curb. Sophia looked at me smiling. She got in the passenger seat, even telling me I worked hard. I smiled, saying today was my day off. What's so hard? You just got off work. Tired today? Sophia shook her head. I'm fine. Just feel on weekends you're off but still have to pick me up. Truly too much trouble. I said she was silly. Sophia just smiled without answering. On the way back, when the car stopped at an intersection often catching red lights, Sophia gently said, I feel lately you're very tired. Her voice not loud, not sudden either, but I was startled. One light sentence rippled my heart. Not small at all. My pupils slightly contracted, turned to look at Sophia. Just saw her head down picking at fingers. Impossible. I hid it so well, how could she still notice? I disguised so carefully. Even mom and dad didn't see anything. This silly girl, was still her? Sophia didn't notice I was watching. Continuing softly. I don't understand why either. Just feel you're very tired, very exhausted. I wanted to say you don't need to pick me up anymore. So you can rest a bit more. But afraid you'd scold me. Not afraid of being scolded. Afraid you'd be angry. Being angry isn't good for health. I laughed out loud. Sophia looked up at me. I laughed while asking, why do you think I'm tired? Sophia said, I don't know how to express it. Just a feeling. Though you seem very radiant. Spirit also seems full. I still feel lately you're very tired. Maybe from your unconscious size. Or maybe your gaze drifting when looking at something. I just feel lately you're truly very tired. I said, you really overthink. Sophia lowered her head, again avoiding my gaze. Overthink then overthink. But if you're truly tired, don't need to pick me up. You should rest more. My mouth corners curved slightly. If I'm truly very tired, is this your way of thinking to help share my burden? Sophia looked up again, gaze with some guilt facing me. I have nothing that can help you. This is one of the few ways I can think of. Though can't help much. If it can lighten your burden a little, even just a little, I'll try my best to do it. Her eyes both sincere and completely unguarded. First time looking into those eyes. I had the impulse to avoid that gaze. If you could do more things for me, would you be willing? Sophia didn't hesitate. I'd definitely be willing. I smiled. I haven't even said what it is. And you already agreed? I doubted. You're just humoring me. Sophia shook her head. Gaze determined. Whatever it is, I'm willing. You're the person I love. For you, I'm willing to do anything. I was slightly stunned. Her sincerity now truly shocked me. I pressed my lips, hesitating a moment, then withdrew my gaze, pretending relaxed, joking. Love is truly troublesome. Agreeing to everything. Sophia didn't respond. Green light came on, car started moving. Road clear. Just minutes to reach below the rental building. Car stopped. I didn't look at her. Like those times mom lectured. Going home, eat properly. Don't just eat instant noodles all day. Tonight I won't invite you out to walk. I still have some work. When alone, don't overthink. Tomorrow morning I'll pick you up. Don't need to wait early by the road. Don't silly stand by the window either. Sleep a bit more. Lecturing to the climax. Couldn't react in time. My eyes widened several notches. Words just spoken were cut off. Soft hair strands and warm breath made one side of my face feel itchy. Inside the car suddenly silent a long while. Until the last hair strand left my face. I slowly turned to look at the passenger seat. Sophia had sat properly again. She kept her head down. Cheeks flushed red. She said quietly, I thought about it. Maybe doing this would have some effect. If you're tired. Looking at that silly girl picking at fingers full of tension. I laughed out loud. I laughed genuinely, not hiding at all. Sophia kept her head down. Being laughed at by me. Even her toes curled. She didn't understand either. Why she thought of that. No need to ask. How could that method work? Sophia, you're hopelessly silly. Thinking it was one thing. Why dare to actually do it? Can't take it. So embarrassing. If only there was a hole to crawl into. Just want to burrow underground and hide. A moment later I finally managed to stop laughing. Eye corners still had tears from laughing too much. I wiped them away, looking at that blushing girl not daring to look up. I said, I told you not to overthink. I just said, if. I'm not tired. Sophia shyly glanced at me. Explaining quietly. I was just trying it out. Now know this method neither works nor is funny. I still have time to think of other ways. So when you're truly tired, I can also help share a bit. At least help somewhat. I wanted to laugh again. Tried restraining. No need to think anymore. Just use this method. Sophia said seriously, but this method, I also find a bit funny. I said, funny then laugh. What's wrong with laughing a bit? Sophia kept her head down picking fingers. But feel a bit shy. Didn't I say I'm willing to do anything? Just a bit shy. Can't even do it? Sophia immediately looked up. I'm willing. I said, you're being willing is enough. When I'm truly tired, I'll say so. Then you just do that. Sophia momentarily dazed. How did I vaguely get led by him? Strange. Just a few sentences. Both said goodbye. I stood watching Sophia go upstairs. Could still feel slight coolness remaining on my cheek. I shook my head smiling lightly. Truly a silly girl, but seemed I truly felt less tired. Thank you, your kiss truly worked. That night, at a certain apartment, was Zhao Qian. She placed the safety charm requested from Lo Yuan Temple today, under her pillow, plus an evil warding charm. Preparing to bring it to the company tomorrow. She suspected. No, she was certain the company had something unclean. Chapter 49. What scantily clad girls would do. Since starting work, my clearest feeling was weekends getting increasingly boring, while Mondays grew more frightening. But strangely, however exhausting Monday was, had to greet it with the brightest smile. Good morning, team leader. I looked at colleagues' bright smiles. Then turned back to stare at code lines on the screen. My fingers tapped lightly on the keyboard. Bit by bit returning to work mode. Sophia woke early. So I also drove her to work early. Most of the time, I was always first to reach my workspace. Team members arrived one by one. All greeting me when passing by. Team relations quite good. After the weekend break. Even Sophie Chen, whom I'd tormented last week, smiled greeting me. No longer avoiding me when seeing me. Felt like hiding some joy. The happiness in her eyes. Completely different from that fake smiling exterior. That was genuine. I also casually responded. After all, colleagues. As long as she had no ill intentions. Didn't deliberately approach and flirt. I wouldn't purposely make things difficult. She treated normally. I'd respond normally too. After all, I wasn't a demon. Finding pleasure in tormenting others. But honestly, tormenting her was quite fun. Because afternoons tended toward low spirits. I usually piled troublesome work into mornings. I brought the items needing optimization in this weekend's urgent update. Already completed. Reporting back to the lead engineer. After reporting, discussed some adjustment directions. That consumed the whole morning. Lunchtime. I ate with some team members in the company cafeteria. Chatting, I tested everyone's opinions about the weekend party. Sophie Chen rarely brought her tray over. Last week after I taught her a lesson, she'd been avoiding. Weekend party? I know a pretty good place. She smiled, contributing, pulling out a chair to sit. Everyone ate while talking. I noted team members' opinions and thoughts, carefully considering, planning to harmonize everything. After lunch was lunch break. Those nearby went home to rest. Those far or not wanting to commute chose resting right in the office. Programming Team 2's work area had only 2 or 3 people left. I, as usual, not much different, leaned back in my chair in the most comfortable position. I originally didn't sleep well, so most lunch breaks couldn't sleep. Sitting idle was also boring. I put on headphones planning to find a show to kill time. Team leader doesn't nap? I removed the headphones, turning to look. Saw Sophie Chen smiling at me. I said I wasn't sleepy. Need something? Sophie Chen said nothing much. Just brought you some snacks I just bought online. Saying so, she pulled from behind a jar of dried pork, placing it on the desk. I glanced without showing anything. Seeing other colleagues also got portions, I smiled, saying thanks. Both exchanged pleasantries. Then Sophie Chen, with a seemingly casual voice, mentioned the main topic. Oh right. Team leader, did you go downtown last Saturday? As expected, she had something. Actually from morning I'd noticed Sophie Chen was strange. She kept sneakily glancing at me. Not that I thought badly of colleagues. Just felt she was plotting something. This feeling very clear. Sophie Chen kept secretly watching me. While I waited to see what she'd do. Felt like she'd definitely pull something. Just didn't know what trick. Very curious now. I almost wanted to ask straight out. Waiting sluggishly like this all morning. If today she didn't speak, tonight I'd definitely lose sleep. Fortunately finally opened her mouth. Even felt a bit anticipatory. I looked at her. Mouth corners slightly curved. Acting like, how'd you know? I nodded, saying, right. You knew? Looking at Sophie Chen's excited fish-hooked expression, I suppressed laughter, adding a bit of acting to cooperate with her. Felt this game was truly childish. Like teasing a kid to play. More interesting than watching shows. Sophie Chen smiled, saying, last Saturday I saw you. I thought a moment. At the pastry shop, right? Right. Sophie Chen nodded, then smoothly continued. I even saw your girlfriend. Hearing that, the smile on my lips gradually faded. I understood immediately. Sophie Chen wasn't targeting me. She acted harmless. Even overdoing it. Your girlfriend's really beautiful. I was even too shy to greet you both. Oh right, I really like her videos. I'm her fan. I've been following for a long time. From that roundabout pile of words, I still filtered the message she wanted to convey. I made a confused face. Videos? Sophie Chen's eyes lit up. That's right. I've liked all her videos. She spoke while unlocking her phone, opening the short video app. I tilted my head looking at the screen she presented. In the video was Sophia lying on a bed. Makeup very beautiful. She wore a somewhat suggestive black-white maid outfit. Camera angle just right, showing the curled up legs. White lace-trimmed stockings hugging her calves. Fabric so thin. Could see the fair pink skin underneath. Toes also rosy and delicate. Light background music played. Those legs also gently swaying to the rhythm. Pink-white striped bed sheet. Exactly like the one I'd seen at her rental room. Couldn't mistake it. Definitely Sophia. She didn't even use beauty filters. Just brightened the lighting a bit. So silly, couldn't mistake her. She was reading a modern poem. Voice full of emotion. Very pleasant to hear. And very familiar. The poem she read, I'd heard many times. In middle school I'd bought a poetry book. She even laughed at me for buying it but never reading. I got so angry. I read it aloud to her every day. Middle school memories flashed through my head. My mouth corners slightly curled. She truly hadn't changed at all. Momentarily distracted, I continued watching the video. Still provocative clothing style, accompanied by unhealthy movements. Lying on bed reading poetry. Upper left corner of video. Had text practically revealing everything. Sharing poetry normally, no bad content. Video title was familiar suggestive phrases. Said miss me so will call. Me? Sophia. She was a very traditional girl. Some things she valued more than anyone. I sighed lightly. Gaze lowered. No wonder each time looking at me. In her eyes always. Had some guilt and remorse she couldn't hide. So that's how it was. This silly girl. Seeing the smile on my face gradually vanish. Sophie Chen reached her conclusion inside. Turns out I didn't know she was scantily clad content. This was the most ideal situation. Also easiest to handle. Proved I was truly rotten wood. Fooled by a scantily clad girl with no tricks. Playing in her palm. Being concealed about her past yet still associating with her. Mistaking cheap trash for a princess to pamper and dote on. Truly a certified fool. Learning the truth. Probably completely collapsed. Sophie Chen felt both amused. And even pitied me a bit. Logically speaking, now I should be furious. Would call to interrogate that scantily clad girl, bearing grudges. Sophie Chen rolled her eyes. Thinking whether to pour oil on fire. Provoking the conflict to erupt. Best would be making me and that girl fight big. If fighting, even better. Then she'd just stand on my side. Together humiliating that scantily clad girl. Both achieving the goal of trampling her. And making me have better feelings toward herself. One arrow, two targets. After that she'd approach under the guise of consoling. Drink a few glasses with me, share some heart-to-hearts. Then gently win sympathy. Thanks to the scantily clad girl as contrast. Someone with proper work like her, able to support herself, would automatically be coated with a beautiful halo. If purely comparing looks, probably couldn't match that girl. But adding that halo effect was different. People in love never see right from wrong clearly. Also not wrong saying in lover's eyes, the beloved is most beautiful. Sophie Chen thought so. Smiling inside, almost laughing aloud. She suppressed the laughter then continued, still many more. Every video is beautiful. Just recently she films less. Don't know why. Saying this, she deliberately paused, tapping her chin lightly with her index finger. Gaze tilting upward slightly, pretending to think, then suddenly making a sound. Acting like just remembering something. Sophie Chen continued, probably busy with something. She deliberately dragged out the word, busy. Clearly implied. A scantily clad girl suddenly stopping videos. Don't know what she's doing now. So curious. You tell me. That type selling bodies for views. What else could they do? Bait thrown. Sophie Chen suppressed laughter, waiting for me to explode. Her eye corners always watching my expression. Not wanting to miss any interesting reactions. And on my face, the smile had indeed vanished. Now logically, my expression should get increasingly ugly. Increasingly angry, that'd be right. But not as she expected. The smile on my face only disappeared momentarily. Then quickly returned. Even brighter than before. I looked at her. Smiling. She truly has been busy lately. Thanks for complimenting my girlfriend's beauty. I think so too. Sophie Chen froze. The forced smile on her lips couldn't hold anymore either. Completely extinguished. She concentrated all effort observing every expression on my face. Trying to find any hidden pain. Or at least a moment of awkwardness. But there was none. Absolutely none. My smile was very real. Sincere to the point of making people disbelieve. Just as Sophie Chen was still dazed. I made a sound. Oh right. Speaking of which. The report you sent me this morning has some errors. Chapter 50. Still have to thank you. After work hours. HR manager Zhao Qian just stepped out of the company. Stride very fast. Today her spirits were quite good. Last night slept well. Under pillow still placed the safety charm. On desk stuck an evil warding charm. On wrist wore an enlightened Buddha bracelet. 3-layer comprehensive defense. Sense of security maximized. Mood relaxed. Zhao Qian unconsciously hummed a tune. Last week she'd had continuous insomnia. Constant nightmares, mental exhaustion. Now completely better. People say meeting happy things lifts spirits, truly not wrong. She even planned to eat hot pot to celebrate a bit. Underground parking garage. Zhao Qian walked straight toward her car. Her gait always decisive, swift and efficient, without hesitation. Heels striking the floor making crisp clicking sounds. In the spacious area, footsteps echoing clearly. Arriving before the car, she stopped. The echo of footsteps also slowed a beat then ceased. Zhao Qian placed her hand on the door handle. Just about to pull, heard a faint sound behind. A cold current flooded down her spine. Like an eerie wind blowing past. She involuntarily shuddered. Heart immediately tense. Buddha bracelet on wrist slid into palm. She gripped it tightly, turning warily. Just one glance. Her expression immediately paled several shades. 2 parking spots away was a car that shouldn't appear at this hour. The appearing car was Sophie Chen's. The parking lot was deserted because Zhao Qian worked overtime today. Everyone else had gone home. Sophie Chen left work fastest in the company. This hour she shouldn't appear here. Such abnormality in horror films was an ominous sign. Countless horror film scenes flashed through her head. She tried staying calm, gathering courage to look toward Sophie Chen's driver's seat. She was bowing her head, looking like possessed by something. Sitting motionless, Zhao Qian's hand gripping the Buddha beads trembled. Based on years of horror film viewing experience, absolutely must not be curious or kind enough to approach. She pretended calm, lightly pulling the car door. Suddenly Sophie Chen moved, like struggling with something invisible, thrashing about wildly. Zhao Qian got goosebumps all over. Immediately jumped into the driver's seat. Closing door, fastening seatbelt. Starting engine. Hand shaking too much, couldn't start. She struggled backing the car out, fleeing the parking lot immediately. Outside, under sunlight, she stopped the car roadside. Still felt panicked. Hand holding phone slightly trembling. Cold sweat. The other end just answered. Zhao Qian like grabbing a lifeline. Hurriedly said, "Master, 2 charms aren't enough. My company truly has something filthy. I saw it with my own eyes." At the same time, Sophie Chen in the car still frantically thrashing. Her anger completely erupted. She didn't understand what was wrong with me today. This afternoon I kept bringing her up. Work content. I kept shaking my head. Sighing. Clearly everyone was working, wanting to peacefully get through days. Why make things difficult for each other? She knew her ability was poor. 3 parts ability, 7 parts connections. 3 parts capability, 7 parts relationships. That was how she survived at the company. Social relations fine. Previously, every team leader was easygoing with her. Colleagues also tolerant. Only I, Ethan Carter, was blockheaded. Not understanding romance. She planned pursuing me, but I didn't notice at all. More irritating was, I kept targeting her professional weaknesses. Exactly what she feared most. Especially this evening after work. I lectured her the whole session, mood already terrible. Wanted to leave early. Result. Hadn't even worked overtime yet. Who knew I'd tell her to stay? I said had something to say privately. She left work fastest in the company. Now having to wait like this, being upset was understandable. She'd tried restraining herself. For this long-term meal ticket, she had to swallow anger. Just thinking enduring a few reminders from me would be done. Who knew when people in the office mostly left? I'd be straightforward, telling her to review her own report. Asking if she felt ashamed. I was stern, showing no face. She was furious, inside screaming. This grown-up, no one dared speak to her like that. Never. I was like a thesis advisor, asking all kinds of professional questions. When she couldn't answer, I'd shake my head, then sigh. How can this work? Kept saying, kept repeating. She nearly cried on the spot. Still had to respectfully answer. She'd try harder. Eyes red leaving the company. Just sitting in the car. She exploded, imagining me standing right before her. Wanting to punch me, beat me to death with wild punches. Angry until chest hurt. Finally too exhausted, drove home. Inside still repeating. If I don't make you lose 2 layers of skin, then I've truly wasted my whole life. HMPH, just wait. Ethan Carter. Sophie Chen gritted her teeth, imagining after dating later, how miserable she'd make me. Both drain my wallet, and give me romantic headaches. Wanting me in pain, unable to recover for 10 or 20 years, don't even dream. Furious to death. On the other side, I drove while humming, not provoking anyone, yet dared provoke her, my girl, Sophia. What was she to care about her business? No capability, yet dared come provoke to my face. Looking no different from a clown. Had schemes but shallow ones. Had tricks but not mature. Those thoughts, I saw through with one glance. I had a pile of ways to make her explode with fury. With no way to vent anger. Just barely acting, already wanting to cry. Only this much? I shook my head, lips curling. Today I just considered giving her a small warning. Hadn't even really started. Red light. I slowly stopped the car. Turned this corner and reached Feng Yuan supermarket. I looked at the blinking numbers on the traffic light. In my head thinking again about Sophia's matter. At lunch break, I'd searched for the account she used posting suggestive videos. Even found some previous livestream segments. However many accounts changed, however many times deleted, useless. Once posted online, could be found however searched. I'd watched all of them. Actually nothing terrible, just wearing suggestive clothing, saying a few implied lines, adding some customer baiting titles. Just that. The biggest problem was, I understood clearly what kind of person Sophia was. If she'd done that, the most tormented could only be her. I didn't mind much, but perhaps she herself couldn't get over it. Before, Sophia had briefly mentioned Dad passing away. She said that period her temperament was terrible. No one managing her, wanting more care. Even told me she wanted me to manage her more. Actually from then on, I'd started suspecting her psychological state. These past years, how had she lived? A timid girl, afraid of strangers. Speaking was difficult. Couldn't communicate normally with outsiders. Severe cases even had episodes. Strange behavior, curling up, trembling. Especially after learning her dad died, and witnessing her frugal living firsthand. I grew more puzzled. Sophia had no relatives, no savings, no ability adapting to society. So where did income come from? Thinking again, had to thank Sophie Chen. Thanks to her, now I understood everything. Sophia often criticized herself for being silly. Seemed she wasn't much smarter either. At least knew utilizing her looks. To avoid starving to death. I sarcastically consoled myself like that, but had no effect. Inside still felt heavy, because I understood clearly how much Sophia cared about this. I remembered very clearly. In high school, one day after school, I joked with her, asking if she liked the basketball playing PE Vice monitor. Just joking, yet she got angry enough to cry. Coaxing didn't stop her. Several days straight not talking to me. From then until graduation, she avoided the PE Vice monitor. Deliberately avoiding contact. She was that type of traditional girl from her bones. Very serious about such things. I watched the red light turn green. Gently pressing the gas. A girl like that had once lived by filming suggestive videos. I didn't dare imagine how she'd endured all those years. Chapter 51. Gentle light. After work hours. Gradually swallowed by distant mountain ranges. Old street lamps. Making clicking sounds. Dim yellow light sequentially lit on both street sides. Bustling streets sending greetings to the city's other side. Something on my face? Sophia discovered me watching her. Oh, nothing. I gently withdrew my gaze. Just that today you're very beautiful. I wanted to look more. Thanks. She blushed slightly, lowering her head, but still not reassured. Tilting face to check in the phone screen reflection. Didn't see anything stuck. If something was stuck, truly mortifying. Not that she didn't trust my words. Just that I liked teasing her. Always enjoyed joking with her. Though knowing I was joking, most of the time I was very calm. Making others feel reassured. But human nature. Occasionally I was a bit mischievous too. Both of us walked slowly strolling. Not holding hands. But walking very close. Sophia tried initiating conversation. Today you're not busy? Invited me to walk. Busy work finished days ago. I answered leisurely. I stretched my shoulders. Putting both hands behind my neck, continuing to walk. Besides, 2 days without inviting you to walk. Afraid you'd blame me for being cold. You're joking again. Sophia tilted her head looking at me. Gaze gentle. I don't blame you. If busy, just rest at home. No need to force yourself out walking. I tilted my head toward her asking. Don't you like walking with me? Sophia shook her head. I like it. But I'm afraid you're tired. I almost blurted out telling her not to overthink. But reaching my mouth changed my mind. I smiled, the smile somewhat mischievous. Voice also carrying some teasing, asking her. Remember what you said. If I'm tired, what would you do to share my burden? Hearing that, Sophia trembled slightly. She shyly lowered her head. Remember, I slowed my pace. Honestly, right now I'm tired. Sophia also slowed, small hands twisting together. Both stopped. Below the street lamp, under the thick tree canopy. We faced each other. Sophia looked up at me with shy eyes. Lamplight casting tree shadows on her face. Wind blowing made shadows sway, making already deep eyes even more hazy. Couldn't see through, yet had an attraction making people want to sink in. I stared dazedly. I called, Xiao Wei. Do you know? I suddenly spoke, pulling her from haze back to present. Coming to her senses, she blinked continuously, not daring to look directly in my eyes anymore. Avoiding the gaze. No what? I said, when two people truly like each other. Eyes meeting is also like a kiss. I spoke slowly, neither fast nor slow. Sophia's ears started reddening, but her heart definitely wasn't calm like her exterior. Don't know why, she once again looked up straight into my eyes. That gaze truly made people feel like kissing. She unconsciously pressed her lips. So this counts as spiritual kissing? He must also like me the same way. I like him, right? We kept looking at each other. I slowly bowed my head, approaching her. She also cooperated, lifting face, standing on tiptoes. While kissing deeply. Sophia moaned softly. Then separated lips. Both simultaneously looked down at the hand placed on her chest. Sorry, my hand acted on its own. I fumbled withdrawing my hand. But before fully withdrawing, Sophia blushing, gently placed my hand back. Her ears red as if burning. No, it's okay. I agree. Under trees and moonlight, street lamps also obscured. We held each other tightly, kissing once more. Until both panting, finally separated. Both adjusting breathing, smoothing bangs, fixing wrinkled collars. After that, both as if nothing happened. Tacitly not mentioning it again. Holding hands continuing the walk. Route still the same. Circling Riverside Middle School. Passing the athletic field fence. Could hear basketball bouncing off ground. Passing the classroom building area. Heard the noisy sounds after self-study. Faintly saw students leaning on windows. Chin propped looking out. On the opposite side, was a couple laughing and talking. Looking up at the upper floors. Looks like you, doesn't it? I like discovering something. Excitedly squeezing her hand lightly. Sophia signaled me to look upstairs. She looked following my direction. Saw on the 4th floor by the window. A girl chin propped looking this way. I thought to myself, did Principal Chen also do this? My class back then seemed to be right there too. You also sat near the window during self-study. Also sat dazed looking outside like that. Sophia smiled lightly answering, So even such small things I still remembered. Hey, I gently squeezed her hand again. Sophia turned back looking at me. I'm truly very curious. Back then each time you looked out the window, what were you thinking? Looking at the young man before her. Smiling at her so innocently. My smile still as pure as in high school. Right, what was she thinking then? Back then? Sophia tilted her head thinking a moment. Then smiled lightly answering, was thinking about you. People often say the longer together, the more alike you become. But we hadn't been together that long. Yet the joking style grew increasingly similar. I smiled saying, so you were early dating? Sophia didn't say it clearly. Just secretly liked you. Doesn't count as early dating. I laughed. Okay, secretly liked. Sophia smiled brightly. Exactly, secretly liked. We held hands laughing and talking the whole way. Sincere words often hidden behind joking remarks. People truly were strange. Clearly very wanting to speak the truth. yet afraid the other would know it was truth. Keep calling me silly. I think you're the silly one. My entire youth had you in it. Yet you didn't know it all. Still laughing. You're the silly one. While talking and laughing, Sophia clumsily switched from holding hands to interlacing fingers. She wanted to grip tighter. Tight enough to never let go this lifetime. I was still afraid. Almost lost you. Curled up in that damp dark rental room. Like a rat living in sewers. Back then I thought, he's probably studying on a university campus. There are bright classrooms. Dorm rooms with warm beds. Surrounded by compatible friends the same age. You all can discuss studies together. Talk about the future. Play games together. Invite each other out. Cram before exams together. Worry about graduation theses together. Moreover, you're very outstanding. Your person shines wherever you are. Surely there are beautiful girls who like you. Or you'll meet an excellent girl and like her. You two will go to the library together. Attend classes together. Introduce each other to roommates. Go out on dates. Eat, watch movies. Hold hands, kiss. After promising to give each other everything. Sometimes I was very conflicted. I sincerely hoped you'd have a better life. But each time thinking of those things, my chest would tighten. I'm not originally a generous person. Even just secretly liking. Just thinking of you. Beside an excellent girl, I already felt heartbroken. But heartbroken, so what? I no longer had the chance to stand beside you. The distance between us grew daily. Once I could openly stand before you. Now even missing you required courage. You were radiant sunshine. I lay in mud. The love once hidden in my heart had long rotted. I had no ability to find you. I was just a rat curled up hiding in a rental room. Waiting to rot, to decay. Even missing you only dared on rainy nights. Because I was afraid. Afraid sunlight would hurt me. Illuminating the blinding reality. Exposing all life's misery. So I deceived myself. Borrowing rain sounds to blur reality. Using night curtains to hide shame. Only like that could I temporarily imagine you'd come to the mud to find me. I truly almost lost you. If that night hadn't had that warm light. Chapter 52. Vivis slow days. Like an anesthetic needle. Gradually numbing people's feelings. Happy people naturally think happiness is natural. Suffering people gradually get used to suffering. Sophia had once gotten used to pain. Now immersed in happiness. Recently, she seemed to have found some secrets. How to become my good girlfriend. Knowing measure in accepting my care. Knowing timing to bother me. Knowing how to act cute just right. In summary, learning to love me with restraint. But also not restraining too much. This relationship was developing very well. Everything fine. Just one thing a bit strange. I noticed. Recently Sophia really liked staring at me. Each time I asked what she was looking at, she always answered nothing. Just that today you're truly very handsome. Being praised naturally felt good. But didn't mean I found everything normal. Still, I didn't overthink it. She originally had some hard to understand behaviors. Like when kissing. Her hands had to touch, hold, then squeeze lightly. Compared to that, liking to look at me recently wasn't too strange anymore. Must work hard. Must live positively. Must try even harder. At least before this life ends. Because the terrible past is hidden. I want to compensate her as much as possible. I truly feel guilty toward her. Must compensate her well. So I must work even harder. Go, Ethan Carter. I encouraged myself inside. Sophia started cleaning in the shop again. Zhang Shufang at the register as usual. Watching her work non-stop. Honestly, sitting idly at the register like that. Felt quite guilty. Before even advised Sophia. Just within 1 week. Organizing merchandise fully was enough. A few days would finish it. Not necessarily constantly cleaning like that. She'd said it many times. Yet it was the same again. This girl was too hardworking. Should increase her salary a bit? One person doing two people's work. Zhang Shufang thought so. Then took out a pocket calculator. Reset to 0 and started pressing. Clicking sounds rang out. Finally finished pressing the last enter key. I stretched my back, looking at the neat report on screen with satisfaction. Next week the programming planning department returned from business trip. I wouldn't follow the main programming team anymore, but would switch to learning at planning. Recently I'd been busy making work handover reports, staying up late quite a bit, but fortunately, finally finished before week's end. I reviewed once more, then hurriedly went to the central office to submit the report. Just finished handing over. Received notification from HR manager Zhao Qian, telling me to come up to confirm the headquarters subsidy. An office beside the third-floor file rack. I entered. I pushed the door and went in. Zhao Qian adjusted her glasses, smiling. "You're here? Sit for a moment. Give me 2 minutes." I smiled lightly, saying nothing, just quietly sitting down. The office was quiet. Only keyboard clicking sounds rang out. I sat obediently but not too rigidly. Gaze wandering around. The room quite empty. Nothing worth mentioning. The desk didn't have much displayed. Precisely why that small Buddha statue stood out. Beside it was also a Buddha bead bracelet. Sister Qian also believes in these things? I silently noted inside, wanting to know how to interact well with people. First must be meticulous and observe keenly. Must pay close attention. I'd formed the habit of noting others' interests. It became reflex. Before long, Zhao Qian stopped typing, taking relevant documents to give me, plus a pen. When I viewed the documents, she exchanged pleasantries, saying recently the company was too busy. Much work needing handling. Made me wait long, sorry. When chatting privately, she was very much like an older sister. But at the company, speaking style still maintained proper workplace tone. Clearly separated. I also didn't bring private relationships into work. Responding with polite pleasantries. For someone like Zhao Qian, interacting this way was most comfortable. Not like Sophie Chen, always wanting to bring personal relations to create pressure. Wanting me to favor her. Causing me many awkward situations and headaches. Even Zhao Qian didn't realize that someone who always separated public and private like her had started comparing me with Sophie Chen, and increasingly felt I was very valuable. The more she looked, the more pleasing. Observation so meticulous. Understanding people's hearts so accurately. I was originally that type of person. I could interact with others in ways making them most comfortable. While no one noticed, I'd silently pull the connection between them and me closer. My view of others always objective. But others often gradually came to see me as a close friend. That was how I handled relationships. Many years rolling through workplace environments. Those things had almost become instinct. Don't know if it's good or bad. A large part of why I lost sleep was because in my head was always non-stop thinking such things, just interacting with others. I'd notice their every small movement, every small change in expression, implications hidden in words, or preferences accidentally revealed. All had become habit. Couldn't stop. Not just with workplace colleagues, but also people in daily life. Once I started worrying, I couldn't stop analyzing. Even when beside Sophia, I constantly saw in her eyes remorse and guilt never dissipating. I felt sorry for her. I understood very clearly. That silly girl had no intention of admitting this. She just wanted to hide it inside forever. Watching her, always tormenting herself with that guilt. Self-punishing. I truly didn't know what to do. If she didn't proactively speak, I couldn't speak first. If I spoke first, Sophia would collapse. That guilty feeling would carve a deep wound in her heart. That could never heal. Only when she willingly spoke could things lighten. I couldn't do anything. Just wait. Wait until that silly girl could step past her own fear. Before that happened, I could only watch her torment herself. Though very sorry for her, I was also helpless. Getting off work, time passed quickly. When I finished handling work and returned to the second floor work area, passing team members' desks, I could clearly feel everyone's mood much more excited. Just sat down. The employee beside me, Xiao Tian, poked his head out asking, "Team leader, for Sunday's dinner gathering, can we bring family?" This Xiao Tian was a bit silly, but workability quite good. Just finished speaking. Xiao Fang at the next desk quickly pulled his sleeve, signaling with eyes. She was Xiao Chan's close friend. The two played together closely. Xiao Chan turned asking, What's wrong? Something in your eye? Xiao Fang was speechless. She said quietly, dinner gathering, you want to bring family? What are you thinking? Xiao Chan shrugged. Just asking. My boyfriend and I divide tasks clearly. One cooks, one washes dishes. If I eat out, dishes pile up at home. Then we fight again. If going with him, no problem. Xiao Fang sighed. Even so. Some things shouldn't ask the boss like that. Xiao Tian confused. What shouldn't? Xiao Fang held her forehead, patiently explaining. I sat still, watching the two girls conspiring right before me. Suddenly felt like eating popcorn. Programming team 2 truly all interesting people. Ages also equivalent. Most around 26, 27. Though everyone called me team leader. Actually in the team, Sophie Chen and I were the youngest two. The rest all big kids. Everyone worked together very comfortably. Actually, this was also me deliberately creating that atmosphere. I proactively led this intimate, natural working style. Chin propped listening to Xiao Fang explain to Xiao Tian, saying if speaking carelessly, the boss would hold grudges. Sadly, the grudge holder here was me. Should I avoid a bit? Sitting here, was I obstructing their conspiracy? After Xiao Fang finished explaining, Xiao Tian suddenly turned looking at me. Team leader, if we can bring family, I can pay for that person's meal myself. Won't make things difficult for you. All that explaining, wasted effort. She still didn't understand anything. Xiao Fang could only shake her head sighing. This Xiao Tian is truly hopeless. I sighed lightly. These two were truly hopeless. If meeting a petty team leader, might truly hold grudges and make things difficult. But I just found them interesting. I joked that could bring relatives. Just don't bring grandparents. Parents following was fine. Being stared at by elders, I'd feel much pressure. Xiao Fang was teased by me into laughing. Laughed very naturally. She was a straightforward girl type. After Xiao Fang and I finished laughing, Xiao Tian laughed a beat late. Ha ha. Team leader is truly funny. I was funny to the point of not knowing what to say. Near quitting time, under my silent mediation, the team atmosphere became relaxed and happy. Considered mentally preparing for the upcoming team gathering. Creating some bonding emotion. When several of us were chatting, a discordant voice rang out interjecting. I slightly frowned. Intuition that something wasn't right. Sophie Chen approached. What are you all talking about? Face full of curiosity. Still that familiar lively look. But all was pretense. I saw through it immediately. Earlier she kept glancing this way. Ears practically perked up. Acting faker than a third-rate actress. She watched me and Xiao Fang, Xiao Tian talking. I started thinking what trick she'd pull again. Not that I thought badly. Days ago, a colleague got freaked out by her. Even I got quite a scare. Recently, she kept avoiding me. Now suddenly pretending intimate approaching. Clearly had a plan beforehand. After hearing those people finish, Sophie Chen interjected. If I had a boyfriend, I'd bring him too. Team leader will treat us, right? While speaking, smiled at me with narrowed eyes. Team leader is most generous. I politely smiled back at her. But my arm skin got goosebumps. Snake smelled too strong. Couldn't take it. She turned looking at Xiao Tian admiringly. Too bad I don't have a boyfriend. After saying, secretly glanced at me. Gaze shy. Posture twisted with extremely precise control. Xiao Tian didn't notice. He honestly said, "Tra, you're so pretty. Personality also good. Finding a boyfriend is easy." Xiao Fang noticed that shy gaze. Like discovering some big secret. She looked at me then at Sophie Chen. Eyes sparkling with gossip. So Tra likes team leader. I discovered it. I remained calm, not showing emotion. Sophie Chen had two purposes. First, tell me she was single. Second, implicitly tell the whole team she secretly liked me. I thought she'd pull some trick. Turns out just wanted to use the gathering to approach me. After tormenting her like that, still hasn't given up. Must say, very persistent. I also didn't care. Chatted with her a few lines. Hearing us discussing the weekend gathering. Other team members also came over. Joining the discussion. Programming team 2 had 8 people total. The plan I proposed this time, truly thought carefully. Trying to meet everyone's wishes. Everyone seemed satisfied, almost no special requests. Very comfortable. Just talking already felt happy. Not like those formulaic team buildings. Making everyone feel exhausted. The whole team happily chatted a while more. Reached quitting time. Everyone prepared to leave, saying goodbye and see you Sunday. Then Sophie Chen suddenly raised her voice. Pretending absent-minded, saying, "Oh right. Team leader, not bringing your girlfriend? I really want to meet her. I'm her fan." A team member hearing this became interested. "Team leader, is your girlfriend famous?" Sophie Chen suppressed a smug smile. Laughing and waving her hand. "Not really, but almost like that. Let me tell everyone. Team leader's girlfriend is really beautiful." While speaking, she squeezed into the group, pulling out her phone to show everyone. "Truly very pretty." I watched the crowd gathering to watch videos and chat. Everyone's gaze gradually focused on Sophie Chen. My gaze remained calm, but my expression had no emotion left. So the target wasn't me. Colleagues joining in just out of curiosity. After watching several video clips, some male colleagues coughed lightly, laughing while trying to hide awkwardness. Briefly said goodbye and left first. Several girls exchanged pleasantries. "Team leader, your girlfriend is really beautiful. Great figure too." Sophie Chen stood beside, echoing continuously. "Right, right, right." Truly excessive. She even kept enthusiastically pulling up videos. Carefully selected ones with the most obvious suggestive implications. Afraid others wouldn't fully understand the implications. Chapter 53. Happy Memories. Goodbye, team leader. Goodbye at the company gate. I returned colleagues' farewells, then continued toward the parking lot. My steps slowed, head bowed, thinking, just now in the office. After everyone watched the videos, all dispersed. On the surface praising team leader's girlfriend as really pretty, politely asking if she could come to the gathering. But inside, each person had different thoughts. Also because of close relations. In most eyes were sympathetic yet judgmental looks. Everyone felt sorry for me. Team leader is so good. How could he date such a girlfriend? They probably thought that. I'd also understood Sophie Chen's true intentions. Nothing more than wanting to borrow surrounding pressure. To separate me from that suggestive girl. Then take the opportunity to replace her. Sophie Chen not just once but continuously pressed. Deliberately wanting me to bring my girlfriend. I responded naturally, saying had to ask if my girlfriend was strictly controlled. Just a few lines and deflected to other topics. Put plainly, Sophie Chen wanted to make Sophia a stepping stone. Using her as a tool to polish herself. I knew clear as day. Of course couldn't let her have that chance. Actually, even without Sophie Chen's drama, I wouldn't bring Sophia to the gathering. Crowded, noisy places. That silly girl still couldn't handle. As for public opinion pressure, I handled social relations very well. People around also not that gossipy. Couldn't create much pressure on me. Just handle it skillfully. Then everyone would forget about it. No impact at all. Just a girl too suggestive. I got in the car. Fastened seatbelt. Sighed lightly. Started the engine. Everyone clearly didn't know anything about her, yet had already silently condemned her inside. I drove irritably to pick up Sophia. At the same time, at Feng Yuan supermarket, Sophia looked again and again at the salary transfer notification on her phone. She anxiously trembled, stammering to ask the shop owner to confirm. Today was payday, though hadn't worked a full month. Still calculated as full month salary. This should be happy, but the extra over 1,000 yuan made Sophia uneasy. She didn't know if the boss transferred wrong, or wanted an excuse to fire her. Looking at the girl before her, though speaking stammered. Eyes frightened but still trying to stand there. Zhang Shufang felt something heavy inside. Clearly same age as her daughter. Around 23, 24. The age to live fully. Shining for one's own life. Yet this girl gripped her sleeve hem tightly. Head bowed, nervously awaiting response. In that tortuous waiting moment, each second seemed infinitely stretched. Memories of being fired before appeared in her head again. Like a repeating film segment. Not discrimination. Just wanted to ask. If you have psychological issues? Why so afraid of customers? Sorry. Perhaps this job doesn't suit you. Some customers complained to me, saying your service attitude was terrible. Not daring to look directly in people's eyes. Always tense and afraid. Also because of psychological issues. She faced many difficulties job hunting. Having one job was already not easy. Truly not easy at all. Recently life just started getting better. She still wanted to try working hard. Waiting until getting salary to compensate me. Was she about to be fired again? Clearly already tried so hard. Sophia's eyes started getting wet. Fingers gripping sleeve hem turned pale white from clenching. Boss. She tried fighting instinctive fear. Struggling to open her disobedient mouth. Must seize the opportunity. Sophia, hang in there. He's still waiting for me. I promised him. Can't make him wait forever. Can't make him wait too long. Sophia bit her lip lightly. She stammered, trying to say each word clearly. Did I do something wrong? Just tell me, I'll fix it. Salary can be reduced too. But I really need this job. Zhang Shufang felt her heart tighten. Getting older, couldn't bear hearing such words. She hurriedly explained just wanted to raise her salary. Not fire her. Even praised her recent work as very good. Truly a close call. This girl's tears fell at a word. Secretly wiping tears got discovered. Then frantically apologizing. Made a mother like her. Only feel pity, coaxing a few lines. Even wanted to hug her. But seeing that frightened look keeping distance. She gave up. Zhang Shufang said quietly, Xiao Wei. Don't overthink. You're doing very well. As long as you want to work. I won't fire you. Off work now. Go home. Sophia sobbed while thanking profusely. Then obeying her, changed work clothes. Got off work and left the supermarket. Reaching the roadside, considered coincidental, yet lifted a big worry from her heart. No longer had to fear being fired anytime anymore. She stood by the road, like looking toward her own future. Suddenly remembering something, immediately took out phone using it as mirror. Using tissue carefully wiping tear marks dry. Using hands to fan her red swollen eyes. Had to be clean, couldn't let him see, just cried. She only wanted me to see her best parts. Didn't want me seeing that haggard, pitiful look. An intersection away. I drove, stopping at red light. Turning the corner. From afar I saw the girl standing roadside, slender figure, straight posture. She as always. Seeing me immediately bloomed bright smile waving. Whole face overflowing with joy. I took a deep breath. Brushing away heavy mood. Bringing relaxed look back to my face. Must use joy to respond to joy. Must use love to answer love. Car stopped completely. Watching her carefully sit in passenger seat. Both smiled together. I proactively helped her fasten seatbelt. While joking asking if she missed me today. Sophia smiled lightly. Sparkling eyes looking at me very closely. Answering, of course. I missed you very much. I laughed teasing. This little mouth is so sweet. Be careful, we'll get kissed. Sophia got teased by me into laughing. Saying quietly, so what? I like being kissed by you. Her small face blushing pink. Saying such words naturally a bit shy. But in the car's private space felt very natural. After all, we were lovers. Had kissed before. Joking like this wasn't excessive. When I withdrew. Still lightly placed a gentle kiss on her cheek. Sophia pressed her lips. Heart blooming like flowers. Car started rolling. I focused on driving. A moment later, Sophia asked, are you busy this weekend? I didn't think much. Answering this week probably nothing. Just normal. Last week too busy with things, now all finished. Probably will be free several days. At least this weekend can truly rest. Sophia lowered her head, twisting fingers. Looking somewhat tense, occasionally glancing at me. Can I invite you out? She asked quietly, full of hesitation. Hearing this, I smiled lightly. This silly girl seemed hiding a small joy. She proactively invited me out. Truly rare. Before, I was always the one wanting to take her out. But she never could handle it. Just eating one meal at a restaurant required half a day's consideration. I drove while laughing. Not looking at her. Just gently asked, sure. Where do you want to go? Not being rejected by me, she sighed with relief. Corners of mouth forming a light smile. I just received my salary. Want to buy you something, treat you to a meal. Though this reciprocation was somewhat small, it was enough to make me happy. Traffic jam, irritating. I glanced at her. Seeing that happy expression, immediately understood. I thought she'd become more open-minded, willing to spend a bit on herself. Didn't expect just because received salary. Couldn't wait wanting to spend money on me. False joy indeed. Don't understand how she lived. Just got a little money. Not thinking about improving for herself. Just worrying how to spend money on me. So anxious. As if not spending it was unbearable. I truly didn't understand how this silly girl's brain was constructed. Sometimes truly wanted to open it and look. Sophia sat in passenger seat, small hands twisting. She mumbled as if apologizing. I only have a little money. Can't buy anything good for you. Also don't dare take you somewhere too expensive. I tested, so eating sweets is okay? I probed her meaning. Sophia immediately smiled brightly. Yes, listen to you completely. Listen to me? I smiled without smiling, wondering if she truly didn't get sick of it. Sophia placed hand on chest, sighing with relief. Actually, she was very worried. If I chose somewhere more expensive, she definitely couldn't afford treating. Fortunately, I proactively suggested, helping her avoid difficulty. I said, last time I didn't eat enough. This time make up for it. Sophia smiled saying, me too. Both chatted a few lines, discussing which dessert was best, then planning which to attack mainly. I said, tomorrow I'll request off. Let's go out Sunday. Sophia said, okay. I answered, of course. No need to think much, weekend going out with girlfriend is already happy. But just after answering, I suddenly remembered. Said again, way. Sunday might not work. Sophia asked, are you busy with something? I hesitated. Oh no. When just getting in the car I'd said this week wasn't busy. Weekend off normally. Now if making excuse about being busy with something, this silly girl would definitely overthink. Though I often called her silly. I knew very clearly, Sophia was sensitive, and very smart, would definitely notice the abnormality, then say nothing, hiding it inside, silently enduring alone. Sad for a long time. Thinking carefully, I told the truth. My company has a team gathering this weekend. On Sunday. Oh, I see. Sophia lowered her eyes. Don't know what she was thinking. Car fell silent a moment. Then Sophia suddenly asked me, why not continue? While stopped at a red light. She asked, can I come to the dinner? Chapter 54. Hints about current life. Now work stable, had income. She'd bought some simple kitchen items. Meals gradually improving. Regarding contact with outsiders, though speaking still stammered. Already improved through practice. Going to market shopping knew to ask prices. Communicating with manager could say a few lines. Though still stuttering, others just thought she spoke with light stammer. Nobody thought there was a problem. Psychologically, symptoms of suddenly curling up, trembling. No longer recurring. Everything gradually getting better. Perhaps could be faster. To be able confidently stand beside me like other normal people. With the identity of my girlfriend. Just speak less. Stand closer to me. Hide inner tension well. If I was beside her, she could do it. This step, sooner or later must take. So she asked, can I come to the team gathering? Sophia asked like that. After hearing, I slowed down. Glanced at her. Then quickly turned back to watch the road. Silent a moment. Inside struggling. I said, can't. Let's go out next week. I refused her. Not that I didn't want to bring her. But because at that gathering was someone waiting. Someone who saw her as a stepping stone. Couldn't let her jump into the pit herself. I said, sorry, way. I can't take you. Sophia lowered her gaze. She smiled awkwardly. Awkward to the point of ugly. It's okay. Not taking me is fine. No need to apologize. Though she said that, I didn't need to look. Just hearing her voice knew how disappointed she was. To say that request, she'd had to gather all her courage. Yet my refusal extinguished her only flame of bravery. Sophia lowered her head, whispering, "It's okay. Really okay. Don't know if telling me not to mind." Or consoling herself. Turning several corners, I stopped the car below the on-campus rental building. "We're here. Troubled you again today, I'll go first." Sophia as usual said thanks. Then unfastened seatbelt, one hand placed on car door. Preparing to get out, my question without warning, coldly rang out, "What are you thinking inside?" Sophia trembled slightly. She turned back smiling, pretending not to understand, asking back, "What? Thinking what?" I slowly turned looking at her. We faced each other a moment. Sophia couldn't bear it. The gaze wanting to see through souls made her panic. She lowered her eyes avoiding. I didn't ask more, just waited for her to answer. A moment later, Sophia gently bit her lip. Knowing she couldn't fool me, so only honesty left, she spoke. "Having a girlfriend like me is truly shameful, right? Can't appear before others. I know I have many problems. I also understand your choice. It's okay, really okay. Just want to trouble you to wait a bit longer. Wait until I become more normal. Really sorry. Please give me a little more time. I'll try to become normal really fast." Sophia hadn't finished speaking, already called out by name by me. Stopped immediately. My voice couldn't hear emotion. Air in the car seemed frozen. Sophia kept head down, not daring to look at me. Silent, motionless. I asked, "Why when talking don't you dare look in my eyes?" Sophia swallowed, slowly looked up, but when gaze touched my look from above, immediately collapsed. Fumbling lowered head, not daring to look up. Even head bowed down flat. My gaze very calm, but made people more terrified than when burning hot. "Look up at me." I pressed my lips, ordering briefly. Sophia started trembling. She slowly looked up, couldn't look directly at me. Could only let gaze wander between my face and eye corners. I told the truth. "Just now I really wanted to hit you." Sophia trembled a bit. "If you want to hit, just hit." Don't know if that was the reason for face trembling. Her voice also trembled. I asked, "Why do you think I wanted to hit you?" My voice slow. Exactly like an advisor questioning students during thesis defense. Carrying pressure type. If can't answer, just die. Though a question. More like assigning a topic than truly asking. Not like waiting for an answer. "Sophia, if doing wrong, being punished is normal." I raised eyebrows. "Knowing you're wrong is good." I gently reached out, lifting her chin that was gradually lowering. "Not letting you lower your head. Look at me." Being forced to lift her face. Sophia's face trembled slightly. I asked, "Tell me yourself. Where did you go wrong?" Sophia said, "I shouldn't have asked you to take me to the team gathering." My gaze darkened. "You have one more chance. Say it wrong again and I'll really hit you." Being stared at like that by me. Sophia was both worried and scared. Mind frozen. Just knew to panic. Gaze couldn't even move away. She was truly about to be teased to death by me. Sophia pressed her lips, corners curving down. Large round teardrops started rolling from her eye corners down. She hurriedly raised her palm back to wipe them away. The more she wiped, the more they flowed. I looked into her eyes. Though tears kept falling, she still didn't dare leave my gaze. Just hit me. I truly don't know." She completely abandoned all thinking. Starting to hiccup in small sounds. Small hands frantically wiping tears. Don't know how I'd hit her. Honestly, she was very scared. But as long as it could calm my anger. Even being punched or kicked she'd accept. Doing wrong must be punished. Being hit is also normal. As long as you don't leave me, I'll accept anything. "Bring your face here," I said with calm voice. Not allowing opposition. Sophia hiccuped lightly. The more she tried restraining, the less she could stop. Hiccuped stronger, each hiccup. Shoulders trembled. She tried stopping tears. Straining to hold back. Seemed mentally prepared to be slapped. But also didn't show any resistance. Obediently tilted head offering face. She fearfully closed her eyes. Pressing lips tightly. Waiting for punishment. When eyes closed, other senses became more acute. Knowing about to be slapped. Touch sensation would come first. Don't know which side would be hit. How hard. How many times. All unknowns. The more she thought, the more scared. Suddenly face was touched. She instinctively reflexively pulled back. Feeling the sensation, she opened eyes in surprise. Just saw me holding a tissue, gently wiping tears for her. Movement very gentle, careful. I said, tomorrow when going with me. If anyone bullies you, must tell me. Don't hide it inside. Sophia hadn't come to her senses yet. Dazed, hiccuping lightly, letting me help wipe tears. Seeing her not answering, I gently asked again, did you hear? If you heard, answer me. Sophia heard. Only then did she react. That I'd agreed to take her to the gathering. I said, stop crying. Keep crying and we're out of tissues. Sophia hiccuped lightly, laughing silly. Suddenly worried about the tissues. She let me help wipe a while more. Then stopped. Tissues for wiping tears and nose piled into a small heap. I crumpled the last one, placing it atop that pile. A tiny pyramid was completed. I looked at it, quite satisfied. Then looked at Sophia. I don't not want to take you. Just afraid you'll get hurt. I told the truth, but couldn't say clearly. After all, couldn't say. A colleague was deliberately trying to harm you. So you can't go. That would sound like a lunatic. I said, anyway, then just follow beside me. If anyone bullies you, must tell me. Understand? Sophia listened without understanding the full picture. But whatever you say goes. She obediently nodded, agreeing, looking at her reddened eyes. I asked, do you know why I wanted to hit you just now? Sophia shook her head. I hesitated, then smiled wickedly, saying, aren't you good at overthinking? Then think carefully. Tomorrow afternoon when walking with me. Tell me the answer. Sophia answered, okay. I said, go rest. Look at you. Cried until tired. Remember to eat properly. Tonight won't invite you to walk. She answered softly, not hurrying to get out. Sophia hesitated a moment. Finally spoke. You should still hit me once. That way I'd feel more at ease. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Smiled, asking, okay. So how do you want me to hit you? Sophia thought a moment, then honestly said, slap me twice. Or kick me twice, either's fine. I nodded, looking like thinking something. Bring your face here. I didn't think much. Obediently brought face closer. Thunk. Suddenly got flicked on the forehead. Sophia held her forehead, sucking in cold air. Hurt until eye corners also teared up. Remove your hand, let me see. I told her. Sophia sniffled, then lowered her hand. I looked at the red mark on her forehead. Nodding satisfied. Okay, go. Remember tomorrow afternoon, tell me the answer. I spoke while waving at her. Sophia again raised hand, rubbing forehead. She'd thought would truly be slapped. About to get out. She turned, asking, can you hint a little? I'm afraid I can't think of it. Looking at that silly girl's troubled face. I almost laughed aloud. What to do with you now? A hint? I thought a moment. Then signaled, calling her closer. Waiting when she obediently moved closer. I cupped her chin with my palm. Lightly pinching both cheeks, then pulling closer. Kissed her lips hard once. Then looking at her dazed eyes. Slowly said, is that hint enough? Chapter 55. In danger there's the unpredictable. This was how Sophia evaluated herself. After yesterday afternoon. Then, in the car. She proactively requested going to the gathering. After being refused by me. She kept saying unpleasant words. Making me unhappy. Even crying before me. As if relying on my feelings. Using tears to force my agreement. Thinking that was truly terrible. But actually she'd never thought like that. Her meaning wasn't that she must go. But just wanted to soon overcome psychological barriers. Wanting to quickly become a normal person. Wanting to love me normally. Wanting to later compensate me. But thinking was just thinking. What she displayed yesterday afternoon was the look of whining and crying to force my compromise. Reality and mental ideal completely opposite. Clearly wanted to perform well. Ended up like that. Today, throughout work hours. Sophia was always distracted. In her head only thinking about yesterday's events. Truly too terrible. Sophia, your temperament is truly terrible. Why become so stubborn? Really need to be taught again. Yesterday afternoon Ethan Carter should have scolded me. Temperament like that, yet he still treated me well. Early morning bringing breakfast, driving to work. Evening picking up, knowing I have psychological issues. He always carefully cares. Yet what did I do? Whining, stubborn, disobedient. Sophia, you're truly a fool. Throughout work time, Sophia was almost entirely self-blaming and self-examining. Near end of work, she stammered asking manager Zhang Shufang's permission to request tomorrow off. The other party agreed very quickly, seeing her looking frightened, even consoled not to be too tense, saying taking leave was normal. Fengyuan Supermarket's leave system was compensatory. 1 month had 4 days off. Just needed to register. Last month Sophia didn't take any days off. Afraid she'd forget, Zhang Shufang had specially reminded at month's end. This job originally didn't pay much, but she worked very hard. Even leave didn't request. Seeing her work hard, Zhang Shufang also felt guilty. So this time her request was approved immediately. After requesting leave, Sophia also felt relieved. Don't think it's just requesting 1 day off. A few simple sentences, but for her wasn't easy. She'd mentally prepared long ago. Normal things people hardly minded. She had to try very hard. To barely complete, waiting until getting off work. She said goodbye to Zhang Shufang. Leaving the supermarket, as always. Standing waiting on the main road outside. Sophia looked toward where I always appeared daily. Gaze carrying hope and also guilt. Terrible things from the past. Made her like falling into a bottomless abyss. Don't know how to climb up. Lost, adrift. Don't know when would fall to the very bottom either. Only fear. Yet even so, she still kept trying hard.